How's it going, everybody? Tie Sites Shadow Games Report, doing part 1, Redux of Metro Exodus. Tried playing this game, I don't know, maybe a year ago. Didn't run all that well on the last computer. We're gonna try it on this computer. Hopefully I'll like it a lot better. Probably be able to get through the missions a lot faster. Maybe be able to enjoy the game a little bit better. Let's hope. But anyways, we are going to do about 30 minutes to an hour and a half of news before we get into the game. Let's get through the headlines. Pause this music. Trump names J.D. Vance fraud czar to target taxpayer theft. This is probably like the third time he's named him the fraud czar, it feels like. I feel like it's been like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different articles throughout the past like 2 months, just basically saying the same thing, and I'm just like, okay, like, do something with it if you're just gonna keep repeating the same line over and over. Rep Burchett warns UAP truth would shock public after classified briefing. Yeah, Tim Burchett basically is just all out saying now that we are not alone, and many different officials are saying that. I guess we have disclosure, guys. We didn't get the fancy meeting or anything that we want. Well, I don't know. Actually, I think that's going to happen in a few months. Supposedly it's going to happen, what did they say, like July 7th or 8th, somewhere in there. Trump is talking about revealing that information. Who knows what will come out of it. Hopefully not too much of anything too crazy. But I don't know, just think about how many jobs it's going to create. There's going to be like alien studies now. There's going to be, I mean, if this opens up that door, it just opens up all the questions about technology and everything else, and, you know, all these different companies that are withholding the information. I mean, what are they going to do? They can only withhold it for so long, and I mean, if they're going to be popping up in the sky with some of that tech every now and again, just kind of makes you question, but also makes you question what could they do with that tech to fool us in some ways. Cuba pardons 2010 prisoners for Holy Week amid U.S. pressure. I mean, I don't have too many details on that particular story just yet. We'll get into that later. Parents of U.S.-born siblings in MacDill bomb plot evaded deportations for decades. Oh, look at that. Appeals court vacates Tina Peters' 9-year sentence over free speech concerns. Trump signs memo directing DHS to pay all employees during shutdown. Signs memo. I thought it was a executive order, wasn't it? Signs memo. Sounds kind of strange. FBI Chief Kash Patel to be sacked by Trump after Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, Randy George. Is he sacking them? Is he promoting them? I mean, they're just being moved around. I don't know if you really call that firing somebody, but I mean, they are being moved from that position. I feel like that's the cleanest way to present that. Trump proposes to begin privatizing TSA screening operations. Interesting. Well, I don't know. Maybe that would be better if you had it more localized. Localized security. Don't really have like, well, I don't know. At the same time, you want to have some type of national security, especially at the airports. But I don't know, do you hand that off to ICE? I feel like that's probably one of the best ways to actually handle the whole deportation thing. Like, just basically put ICE at the exits of the country, you know, Border Patrol, whatever. I'm not saying just ICE. I mean, we have multiple layers of security, but I'm not saying ICE should be like only at the airport either. Maybe we have a designated airport ICE, or maybe, I don't know, call them something different, but they work with ICE. I don't know. TSA, horrible reputation, bad policies. I could go on and on. Trump seeks 152 million to reopen Alcatraz as active prison. A lot of people are speculating this could be like judges or something being sent to this particular prison. It only holds like 200 prisoners, though. I don't know if that's the exact amount, but it's somewhere around there. So it kind of makes you speculate: are they going to have like high-profile officials at these places, similar to Gitmo or other institutions? There was a few he was talking up last year. I remember covering them on the channel. U.S. intelligence warns Iran unlikely to ease Hormuz Strait chokehold soon. Yeah. President Trump signs order intended to stabilize college sports. What? Threatens lost federal funding. Who? You know, honestly, whenever I was in school, that was the thing I just always thought about. I was just like, man, there's so much like money thrown at sports. Just imagine if like you actually cared about people passing the class. Imagine if you like threw all your money into like tutoring somebody, you know? I mean, anyways. Like, geez, just think how well educated everybody would be. That would be insane. Can't do that. Judge won't reconsider decision blocking grand jury subpoenas of Fed Jerome Powell. Second U.S. force plane down in Persian Gulf region. Pilot rescued. So I think only one pilot has been rescued so far. But I want to say there might have been like two different separate jets go down, if I remember correctly. And there's also been, what is it called? A Warthog A-10 or something like that. I'm not too familiar with all of the names. I know a few aircraft name here and there, but I'm not going to act like, I'm some military professional in this particular matter. Sometimes journalism's not about knowing everything, it's just about the investigation. It's about your exploration for knowledge. And, for anybody that's just getting started in journalism, you shouldn't feel bad for not knowing something. Like, it's your job to try to help figure out what's going on. And maybe you don't actually figure everything out. You just kind of help the next person be like, oh, crap, like, I know more about this than you do. And you just help somebody else, start their journey to figure out whatever news story that you brought to their attention. U.S. conducting rescue operation after jet went down over Iran. So there were two helicopters that were allegedly shot at. I mean, there was reports that maybe one of them might have gone down, talking about one of the helicopters. I don't know if that actually happened, though. You got to be very, very careful with what story you believe right now, just because there's lots of bad players just putting out just misinformation, trying to misdirect you. U.S. economy adds 178,000 jobs in March, more than expected. Unemployment rate drops to 4.3%. I mean, I guess if you believe the government, can't believe the propaganda coming from the government half the time, so, you do have to question these things too. Pretty much everything. Just go ahead and, you can question me as much as you want to too. I don't care. Hegseth asks Army Chief of Staff General Randy George to step down. Alright. Let's get into some of the content for today. We got Joe Rogan talking to Theo Vaughn.
So when you see like how it all played out and why it is what it is today, Jesus Christ, you'd be mad too.
Yeah.
And when you're mad and you're surrounded by bigger enemies that all have nuclear weapons, you don't even have nuclear weapons, wouldn't you be trying to make them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying Iran should have nuclear weapons. I don't think anybody should have nuclear weapons.
But Israel gets to have them.
Allegedly. This is the problem. Allegedly.
Everything's allegedly with them.
But allegedly,
except for the genocide.
They don't officially have them.
Right.
I don't think they admit they officially have them. And you know who was a big opponent of Israel getting nuclear weapons?
JFK.
JFK. Yeah. That's what a lot of people think led back into the left.
Oh, yeah. Before they killed him, who? I don't know.
So the Iranian Revolution, also called the Islamic Revolution, was a mass. So when you see like
CMS Administrator Dr. Mehmet Oz. Thanks for doing this. Fraud is the topic of the day, and obviously you're at the forefront of some of this. Broadly, the American people don't have a full sense yet of how big a deal this is, right?
Well, if you just look at the money that we pay as a federal government for insurance, which is for Medicare and Medicaid and related programs, we think there's about $100 billion of fraud.
$100 billion.
Now, let me just put that in perspective so that folks can to anchor on. A lot of Americans who are working are concerned that Medicare won't be there for them. They're worried it won't be solvent. If we're able to take out the fraud in Medicare alone, we would double the life expectancy of the Medicare Trust Fund. It would add years more to the solvency of this program, which would give comfort to everyone working today that it's going to be there for them. The question really is how did it get so bad? And part of it is COVID, because when you start throwing money at problems, you don't watch where it's going, and fraudsters learn they can corrupt the system because they never realized it was so easy to steal from the government. Then they'll start to, weaponize it and use it in other areas like Medicare and Medicaid. We now have an all-government approach. So yesterday, for example, I spent the pre-dawn hours in Los Angeles busting into a swank neighborhood home owned by a doctor and a nurse who had been defrauding the hospice system there for millions of dollars.
And this is a big SWAT team.
FBI just warned Congress about a major cyber attack linked to China. Officials say it could become a serious national security threat. From Mario Nafal, also from the FBI, obviously. And this is from The Wire yesterday. This is from The Ghost, which I believe is a military report. Ghost might be a PSYOPs group. All alleged stuff, but at the same time, I think there's other portions of the military referred to as Ghost. I've just seen it in lots of different places. I don't think it's one particular thing. It's almost like it's a cover.
This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, April 2nd, 2026. Precedence is routine. Information cut off is 2200. Bottom line up front. Colonial Pipeline.
Now, just remember this is from yesterday, not today. I might play the one from today, too.
Shut down briefly overnight after sustaining damage in Georgia. Strategic buildup continues in the Middle East as the United States begins targeting critical infrastructure within Iran. Beginning with international events in the Middle East, American targeting within Iran continues as Iranian forces continue to hit U.S. bases throughout the region. American bases in Kuwait have been hammered over the past few days, with ballistic missile strikes being reported at Camp Arifjan and Ali al-Salam Air Base. Within Iran this morning, the United States began more deliberate attacks on infrastructure which are not solely military targets. The B-1 bridge west of Tehran was destroyed, which was not yet opened. It was still under construction, but would have been the largest bridge in the country and the main link between Tehran and Karaj. Analysts comment. The Iranians are very likely to retaliate by hitting one or several critical bridges throughout the region on the south side of the Persian Gulf. The King Fahd bridge linking Bahrain with the mainland was already struck by the Iranians on the opening days of the war, when Saudi forces crossed the bridge to put down the Shia uprising and protests in Manama. So if they wanted to hit it again, they've already demonstrated that they have the ability to do so. In Iraq this morning, the U.S. State Department issued another travel alert specifically warning that attacks may escalate over the next 24 to 48 hours. Analysts comment. This is probably in response to the kidnapping of American journalist Shelley Kittleson by Kataib Hezbollah 2 days ago, who remains missing in Baghdad, but also the deteriorating security situation nationwide, which is being compounded by various Iraqi militia groups beginning to mobilize against American forces in the region. More strategically, the situation in Iraq has deteriorated to its lowest point in years, and there is now a very real risk of some kind of insurgent uprising coming about due to the opposing militant groups which have been stirred up by the situation in Iran. This will be an important situation to monitor over the next few weeks. In India, following weeks of petroleum disruptions nationwide, the first oil tanker arrived in Vadanar overnight, completing India's resumption of purchasing crude oil from Iran, which was originally halted in 2019. Analysts comment. India had previously halted the purchase of Iranian oil due to American sanctions, but due to the war in the Middle East resulting in the U.S. waiving oil export sanctions, India has resumed the purchase of oil from Iran. Indian media reports that the transaction was carried out in Chinese yuan. On the home front, in Georgia, yesterday evening, Colonial Pipeline's Line 1 was shut down after sustaining damage during drilling operations. The pipeline was shut down for several hours while repairs were conducted, and as of this morning, Line 1 is fully functional. Analysts comment. While this incident was not the result of malign action and it was resolved quickly, this is still a big deal. This is the largest gasoline pipeline network in the United States and provides the vast majority of gasoline to the East Coast. Considering the recent volatility in the oil markets, this outage occurring right before a major holiday weekend for travel was exceptionally poor timing. In Washington, D.C., several leadership changes have taken place this afternoon. Attorney General Pam Bondi has been relieved of her duties, with her deputy Todd Blanche taking over her roles until a replacement is found. At the Pentagon, General Randy George was requested to take an...
That actually answers that question. That's actually good that we just brushed over that. So, it appears that Todd Blanche is actually replacing Pam Bondi temporarily until they find someone new. So, it answers at least my questions from today. I was like, why do they keep speculating who the new AG is if Todd Blanche has already been decided? It appears that he hasn't already been decided. So, just to answer that question in case anybody was curious, unless there's been one decided in the last, I don't know, hour or two. That happens sometimes.
Early retirement effective immediately, stepping down from his role as Army Chief of Staff. Analyst comments for this wire. President Trump's address to the nation last night concluded without any major announcement of policy changes, and the speech was neither an announcement of the end of the war nor of any substantial increase of combat operations. Timeline-wise, President Trump stated that the conflict will last 2 to 3 more weeks, though no official exit plan was conveyed. More generally, speeches by political officials are not usually reflective of the tactical situation on the ground, and as it stands right now, the raw information available to the public continues to indicate another surge of military hardware and resources into the Middle East. Yesterday, CENTCOM published their list of assets deployed to support Operation Epic Fury, which included many resources which have recently arrived in theater, such as the EA-37 Bravo Compass Call platform, which is used for electronic warfare. This platform arrived on station yesterday, having been observed at Mildenhall Air Base on her way to the Middle East 2 days ago. Aircraft movements such as this one, and others, continue to indicate that operations are ramping up, not down. National-level reconnaissance and EW assets being moved into theater at this point, conducting their first combat deployment a full month after the war began, is not an indicator of the war coming to a close. This concludes the wire for 2300 Zulu, April 2nd, 2026.
Thomas Massey drops a bombshell saying Pam Bondi was absolutely ready to release the Epstein files under a unknown person, until a unknown person got to her and told her she better not. Somebody got to Pam Bondi and said, "It's your job to cover this up." Thomas Massey.
Are you confident you will see that?
I don't know if we're going to see it in this administration.
Why do you say that?
Because Pam Bondi has, she's been so against this. I would say from the beginning, but in the beginning, I think she earnestly was ready to release files. And then I think she wasn't in on the joke when they gave her those binders that had nothing in it. Then she found out she looked like a joke, and she shot off the angry letter to the FBI. But at some point, somebody got to Pam Bondi and said, "It's your job to cover this."
Are you confident you will see that?
I don't know if we're going to see it in this.
Court claims $180 billion in California fraud under Newsom. A city general investigation by Christopher Rufio tallies at least $180 billion in fraud across unemployment insurance, Medi-Cal, and welfare since Governor Gavin Newsom took office in 2019, with sources like HHS officials estimating 25% of Medi-Cal's $197 billion annual budget lost to scams. Pandemic rule suspensions led to $32.6 billion in fake unemployment claims, including payments to prisoners and the dead, while ongoing issues persist in home care and hospice. Newsom's office calls the figures guesses and highlights recoveries like $1.1 billion in overpayments. I don't think that they would say all that stuff and then try to take somebody to court. You don't usually lie and then take someone to court. I mean, I guess you could, but it's not very smart. Anyways, moving along, Cuba pardons 2010 prisoners. Let's see what President Trump's got to say on this one.
And that Cuba will be next. What did you mean by that exactly?
Who will be next?
Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba's going to be next. Cuba's a mess. It's a failing country, and they're going to be next. Within a short period of time, it's going to fail. And we will be there to help it out. We'll be there to help our great Cuban Americans out who were thrown out of Cuba. In many cases, their family members were mutilated and killed by Castro. Well, Cuba's going to be next, yeah.
And that Cuba will be next. What did you mean by that?
Tucker Carlson blasts Pam Bondi asking if thousands of children were raped on video. How is it possible that the rapists haven't been identified?
But how can you say that thousands of children were raped, but I'm not going to find out who raped them?
Yeah.
How can you say that?
I agree completely.
They said that. By the way, when Pam Bondi went on television and said, I have a videotape of kids getting abused, I follow this case closely, and I know a lot of the people involved, as I've told you.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. I didn't know that. Really? Thousands of children got raped?
Yeah.
Who raped them? Where are the rapists? Like, why aren't they in jail? This is the Department of Justice.
Yes.
That is so crazy. This is honestly one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just think it's very dangerous to play around with this stuff. Like, very dangerous.
Well,
I don't want a revolution, but if you wanted a revolution, this is how you would act.
Yes, yeah.
But how can you?
This sergeant can't help himself, and he breaks protocol, and he shows Carl Wolf the photographs that have been coming off this machine he was brought in to repair. And they're mosaic photographs where, the orbiter will take a bunch of images, a bunch of shots, and then they'll lay them next to each other and form a mosaic of a larger site that's been targeted for satellite photography, right? And the sergeant says, we found a city. And he starts showing him these mosaics, putting them next to each other. And they're high-resolution photographs of a megalithic city on the dark side of the moon. Spherical buildings, polygonal buildings, obelisks like the needles in Egypt, and dishes, he said, that looked like radio telescope dishes. Huge structures, which I guess the resolution of the photographs was so good that he could tell that they weren't made of metal. They were made of something like a poured stone, kind of like concrete, which is interesting because a lot of ancient sites on Earth are made from that type of material, right? These enigmatic megalithic structures on Earth seem to have a similar construction as what Karl Wolff, at least what was presented to him as a city on the dark side of the moon. And so he's looking at this thing, and somebody walked in, and so the sergeant cuts off his illegally volunteering this classified information to Wolff, and he goes to work repairing the photography machine. But anyway, he said he went home and he expected that either that night or sometime in the next week or sometime in the next year, we would hear about this city that had been photographed on the dark side of the moon. And of course, it was never revealed, right? So this was one of the most striking early testimonies that I heard from out of Greer's Disclosure Project that got me really interested in the moon. And what's really creepy is
that was 60 what?
65, a few years before Apollo. And what's really disturbing is that this disclosure wave that we're in the midst of right now began in 2017, right, with that New York Times piece.
Right.
So around about 2018, there are serious discussions about subpoenaing people to get testimony from them. And then later than that, Grush now, spearheaded this initiative to have people come and testify in front of Congress and release individuals from their security oaths, right? Well, guess when poor Karl Wolff met with an untimely end? 2018, 1 year after disclosure starts, his bike was run over by a truck.
How old was he?
Young, relatively.
Can you find the story of Karl Wolff?
He might have been in his 50s or something.
Wow.
And this is what happened to John Mack too. This is how they murdered John Mack. They had him run over on the road.
Yeah, but isn't it? Yeah, I understand that that's sketchy about John Mack, but do you think it's probable that he was whacked?
70
it wasn't just an accident.
100%. No,
really?
Yeah, I do think so.
He was 74 years old.
The 74-year-old.
Well, he was in good enough shape that he was riding his bike regularly.
Can you click on it? Oop. Page not found.
Just search Karl Wolff with a K.
Oh, it's not this one?
No, well, it has it correct underneath there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Karl Wolff with a K.
Claimed to have top secret NASA photos showing alien structures on the moon. He worked with a tactical air command at Langley Air Force Base in Virginia and had top secret clearance in 2001. Wolff made a startling claim that NASA was hiding evidence of artificial structures on the far side of the moon. He died in a bike accident on October 10th, 2018 in New York after being hit by a tractor trailer.
Here's Iran's nuclear and military facilities, in case anybody was curious. They actually mine their own uranium. Yeah, that's why they have such easy access to it. They can just pull it out of the dirt. It's kind of funny, right? It's kind of ironic. It's like they have their own uranium. The whole reason they're such up their ass is just because they can enrich it pretty much anytime they want to. I think they have the technology. I don't know entirely. I'm not going to act like I know everything. This will be more relevant to other people than it will be me. Like I said, sometimes journalism, you're just trying to reveal it to somebody else so that information can be used by them. According to multiple current Trump administration officials with access to Pam Bondi, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who was just named acting Attorney General, has been the main roadblock holding up prosecutions of former Biden officials, state-level politicians, and Antifa terrorists. Todd Blanche personally shut down the DOJ's weaponization task force and is responsible for sidelining Ed Martin. Well, like I said, he seems like he's just going to be temporary. He is, I guess, the second acting AG after Pam Bondi, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's the reason he's here right now. But I want to say that he will be placed by somebody soon. And if I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong. But I'm, just telling you what I think. Peter Doocy just dropped it. President Trump and AG Pam Bondi talked about her leaving the DOJ during the ride in the Beast to and from the Supreme Court yesterday.
During this ride in the Beast to and from the Supreme Court yesterday, President Trump and Attorney General Bondi talked about the possibility of her leaving DOJ. So hours later, when these photos were taken of Bondi at the president's address to the nation, she knew what could be coming. Hours earlier, the vice president saluted her and her now temporary replacement.
Let me say thanks to Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche, our Attorney General and Deputy Attorney General, for supporting this mission.
The president says Pam Bondi is a great American patriot and a loyal friend. We love Pam, and she will be transitioning to a much-needed and important new job in the private sector. A senior White House official tells Fox the president has considered making this move for a while, and there were no signs of trouble during a trip last month to Graceland.
You're a big fan of Elvis family.
My mother was, especially.
Also on notice, after President Trump's epic fury address to the nation, NATO partners.
It can't just be that when Europe calls for help, the United States helps. This needs to be a mutually beneficial relationship.
President Trump has informed allies in Europe the U.S. will help keep the Strait of Hormuz open, but only in a supporting role.
Go to the strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy.
Global oil prices spiked during the president's 19-minute remarks, but economic advisors in the West Wing believe price hikes won't last.
The fundamentals of the global energy market are okay. What we're seeing is a temporary disruption because of what's happening.
And tonight, White House officials are going on the record to tell us that Tulsi Gabbard's job as the Director of National Intelligence is safe, despite some reporting online to the contrary. Stephen Chung, the comms director here at the White House, says President Trump has total confidence in Director Gabbard, and any insinuation otherwise is totally fake news. So no other big changes to the president's team today. Brett.
Peter Ducey live in the North Lawn.
Sorry, I just realized my mic was off. Trump is reportedly seriously considering sending U.S. Special Forces deep into Iran to seize the regime's enriched uranium stockpile. Experts warn the mission would be extraordinarily complex and extremely high risk with major chemical and logistical and tactical challenges. That operation might be going on as of right now. I'm not too sure just yet. It appears that the White House has gone into communications, what do they call it? For lack of a better term, just communications blackout, where they basically just shut everything off. They don't communicate. I don't know how long they're going to do this. But it seems like Trump's in war mode. I don't know what's going to happen this weekend, but it kind of seems like there might be something big. There's also been some false flag alerts that I've been calling out as well. ISIS is saying that they want to attack different churches over the weekend, with it being Easter weekend. We'll just kind of have to wait and see what actually plays out or not, but I recommend everybody to be safe, especially if you go to church this weekend. I'm not telling you not to go, I'm just saying, keep an eye out. And I guess if your church allows firearms, maybe you should consider it. I'm not saying, don't shoot anybody you shouldn't shoot, obviously. But if anybody starts doing anything crazy, might be a good idea to have something close by so that you can take care of the threat. It's good to at least have somebody with a weapon. Like, hopefully, there's plenty of security at the churches this weekend. And I'm just trying to put extra forewarning out that you never know what could happen. And I mean, the Muslim world is pissed right now. Now, a lot of true Muslims actually do respect Jesus Christ, and hopefully they won't do anything. ISIS is, a lot of people have said it for quite a long time, as of right now, in my opinion. Obama might have helped create ISIS, along with possibly even Israel's help. I don't know about the last part as much, but it has been highly speculated that Obama helped create and fund ISIS in different countries. U.S. intelligence warns Iran unlikely to ease Hormuz Strait chokehold soon, from Reuters. I already said that earlier. To the ones waking up first, you are not crazy. You are needed. I'll play that in just a second. It's kind of motivational. I don't know. It just kind of randomly popped up earlier, and it's going to sound cheesy and stuff, but, you know, just bear with me. Don't celebrate Pam Bondi's departure too quickly. Todd Blanche. Yeah, we already talked about that. I don't need to talk about that again. Iranian Armed Forces spokesman says Iran is waiting for U.S. President Trump to invade. We will teach them such a lesson that they will never attempt to invade any
ما
country
منتظریم
again.
برای عملیات زمینی آمریکا انتظار میکشیم که آغاز بشه چرا؟ چون درسی به اونها خواهیم داد که تا ابد به هیچ کشوری، به ضعیفترین کشور دنیا هم قصد تجاوز نکنن. ما منتظریم برای عمل.
I ask you to listen with love, as where we go one, we go all. The following report has been provided in part.
Oh yeah, and I will say this too. He is a Q guy. I know there's lots of Q haters right now, and I mean, you know, you can hate the Q people all you want to. I don't care. I'm not telling you to believe him either, you know, because I question him as much as anybody. But I think whenever somebody does have a positive message, you should at least listen to positive aspects of it.
By Guardian, Daniel R. Am I crazy? Am I making this all up? Yeah, I've asked myself that too. Because awakening isn't loud at first. It's subtle. It's a whisper in your soul that says, there's more to this life than what you've been taught. And when you start remembering, when you feel energy no one talks about, when you receive downloads before they happen, when you see through the illusions most people still live in, you start to wonder, is this real or have I lost it? Let me remind you, you are not crazy. You're tuned in to a frequency the world forgot how to hear. You're not delusional. You're multidimensional. You're not unstable. You're just deconstructing a false reality. You're not weird. You're encoded with light to help others wake up when the time is right. Your visions, real. Your gifts, sacred. Your voice, very much needed. If people think you're too much, it's because they haven't yet met the parts of themselves that remember what you're saying. So no, you're not crazy. You're the first to wake up in a room full of dreamers. And that takes more courage than most will ever understand. So keep on going. Finish line is close. You are very much needed. Where we go one, we go all. Join me and Rob Cunningham live for the Patriot Q&A Power Hour. April 30th, mark your calendars, at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be taking...
Now, the Epstein files, you'd agree not handled well?
No, and I don't, first of all, I have never heard President Trump say that the Attorney General that anything that happened to her had anything to do with the Epstein files. And so, look, the Epstein files has been a saga that's lasted for the past year. And what happened when the President signed the Transparency Act is the Department of Justice has now released all the files with respect to the Epstein saga. And the Attorney General Bondi and I appeared in front of Congress voluntarily a couple weeks ago to answer any questions they had. We have made every single congressman, senator available to come and see any document, redacted, unredacted, that they want. And so I think that to the extent that the Epstein files was a part of the past year of this Justice Department, it should not be a part of anything going forward.
Okay, well, I mean, you've combed through these files, right? Who was Epstein spying for?
Look, I don't know that he was spying for anybody. Nobody's ever said that.
No? You don't think he might have been a spy for a foreign country?
I have no idea if he was a spy. All I know is that we don't have any evidence in the Epstein files that the FBI collected over 15 years that suggests that, Jesse. I don't know. I wasn't part of the original prosecution team. Neither was Attorney General Bondi. And I can tell you this, there's only one president that's held Mr. Epstein accountable, and that's Donald J. Trump. During his first administration, that was the administration that prosecuted him, and during this administration, it's the administration that's been totally transparent and released all the files. And no matter how much criticism people want to make about the Epstein files, that is indisputable. It's undisputable that nobody talked about the Epstein files for 4 years during Biden. 4 years. And so when President Trump said, let's release the Epstein files, and the law was passed that allowed
Colonel
us
Gagne,
to
you
legally
say
do it.
these pilots are trained for exactly this scenario. So what are they trained to do now, and what does this kind of search and rescue mission entail?
They're trained, Diane, to buy time for the rescue forces. So they learn how to escape. They learn how to evade. They learn how to hide. They've got very special technical equipment that each of them carries that will allow these combat rescue, search and rescue forces to identify them very quickly, to find them. They have encrypted communication so that no enemy could be listening in. So well trained, well equipped, and now it's a matter of the combat search and rescue forces. And the combat search and rescue forces, the so-called CSAR, are run by the U.S. Air Force. Some of the videos that we're seeing out of Iran show a C-130 and 2 Blackhawks, and this is a standard CSAR package out of the U.S. Air Force. They're designed to operate at low altitude, to go in and look for any downed air crew, to locate them and to rescue them. So the C-130 is there to provide communications, to provide fuel, and the Blackhawks are there to go in and pick up the crew. It's something that all of us who have flown tactical aircraft have practiced over and over, but nobody ever wanted to have to put it into practice. Unfortunately, we may be seeing that now.
Colonel Gagne, what does this mean for U.S. jet strikes and other aerial missions moving forward?
That the skies are not as safe as they perhaps presumed. My guess is that this was daytime. My guess is that the Iranians used what's called infrared. So they used detection that's passive, that used heat differences. The president did say that their radars rolled down, and so he probably can claim that legitimately. But the fact that there are still anti-aircraft kinds of capabilities that are based on heat temperature differences that can identify aircraft and still target aircraft is probably what got this F-15.
And can you say a little bit more about that? Is this an indication that the U.S. has not degraded Iran's capabilities as much as the Pentagon has reported? And if so, how does that change our strategy?
I think it's hard to tell. So, as we've seen, let's take the missile launchers as an example. We have severely degraded them, but there are reports saying that intelligence assessments say that we've hit only 50%. So this is a war that Iran's been planning for a long time, and they have a lot of stuff underground. They have a lot of stuff we don't know about. The kinds of anti-aircraft capabilities, the kinds of surface-to-air missile systems that we do know about are the ones that radiate electromagnetic energy, meaning that they can be picked up and seen by sensitive capabilities that the U.S. has. So when you know that they're radiating by radar, then you can go in and take out those radars. In this case, if it is passive, in other words, it's just looking, it's not radiating anything, it's looking up at the sky and it's seeing the heat difference of an airplane against the cool, dark sky. And so that provides a picture that you can guide the weapon in on. So very different kinds of capabilities, but there's no such thing except maybe in Afghanistan of supremacy in the air. So there's always going to be a threat there. The U.S. and Israel thought they had it taken care of, and they do. It's that 90% solution, but it's the 10% that can get you, and it appears that may have been what happened today.
Seymour Hersh, the journalist who correctly predicted the bombing of Iran's nuclear facilities and broke the Nord Stream story, says Trump's speech was a ground war announcement. Trump was telling the world that the ground war is on as of today. Thousands of Navy SEALs and Army Rangers are either en route or soon will be to zones within striking range of the Strait of Hormuz. Could have 50,000 fighters ready to clear the strait or dig out enriched uranium from tunnels under the nuclear sites. Alrighty. Just in the section from yesterday, 8 countries condemn Israel over one-sided death penalty against Palestinians. Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, Jordan, Pakistan, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. Alright, we got Burchett over here. With top defense architects vanishing and whispers of other world secrets, is this a calculated cover-up to hide the truth in or about extraterrestrial involvement in our national security?
That people are missing. We got dudes shot on their front porch and nobody can find out who killed them. We got, Air Force colonels or generals just going missing. We got scientists who coincidentally dying or being murdered, but no suspects. So 8 people connected to aerospace and engineering and architecture and all this different weaponry stuff, the things that, Tim, we've all been hearing about since Roswell, Area 51, Wright-Patterson down in Dayton, my home state of Ohio. We've been hearing about this stuff now for 70 years. That we have it, we don't have it. That we've re-engineered it, no, we haven't. I know you can't talk about much because you're an active member, but just give me a wink. Are we alone?
No, we're not. We're not
Holy,
alone.
wait a minute. Did we just break that? Wait a minute. Is that April Fool's today, Tim?
No, it's second. No, we are not alone. Every time I go to one of these departments, one of these alphabet agencies, Dan, they tell me, I mean, you're a reporter, you get it. You have one guy will tell me one thing, and then somebody in the next cubicle over will tell me the other. I'm watching something on NASA the other day, and they're saying, we don't have any proof of anything. And I'm like, what was that briefing I was in about? And and it's just, some little smart aleck with a man bun comes in there and starts telling you stuff. And you read people, Dan. I mean, you've been in the military. You got the guys that are high up, and their chests look like a dadgum license plate out of New Jersey or something. They got every dadgum medal you can think of. And they're just sitting there, and and you can read them like a book. They're thinking, this little punk civilian needs to just shut up.
Right. Stay out of our business.
And I had a discussion with President Trump, and I said, look, you need to put this stuff out. And we were on another trajectory, so I couldn't really talk about that. But I feel convinced he's the guy to do it, because it's going to have to happen at that level. And one other thing I want to tell you, Dan.
Yeah.
It's probably titled one of my many books. The president is on a need-to-know basis.
You've heard that, right?
I heard somebody tell me that in a meeting, and I just thought, apparently you don't know my president.
Because he wants to know everything, and you better tell him, damn it. That's interesting that you say that. And, we've got about 3 years left to 47, and I'd love to see 4 more after that. But anyway, he would be the guy to do it. I don't know if right now would be the time till we wrap up Iran, till we get the interest rates down, hopefully in May when the new Fed chair goes in. The economy starts spiking really big time in the third and fourth quarter. And then maybe for Christmas, if we're doing well, he just kind of slam dunks hey, by the way, I opened up Area 51, and here's 2 ships and half a body and a whole body, and we've been using their lift for our F-35. Come on, man, give me something, Tim. I mean... We don't make all them movies up just because somebody's creative in Hollywood and knows how to write that. They're getting this from somewhere.
Let me leave you with this one, Dan.
Okay.
I was in a meeting, and I'll just leave it at that as a meeting, because I have a lot of meetings. Yeah, and if that was allowed to be told in the public, the wheels would come off. They would come off because every detractor was put in their place. I'll just leave it at that.
Pam Bondi shut down a federal investigation into Pfizer for international corruption and bribery from Nicholas Holscher. Bondi had previously provided legal services for Pfizer. Now she's been fired.
Pam Bondi, once she got in as Attorney General, all of a sudden they dropped a investigation into Pfizer they were looking into them for corruption in Mexico and China for all sorts of sketchy practices. And we know, they commit criminal activities all the time. But so now we see a protection of the criminal enterprise Pfizer. This is not what we want to see. And obviously, we've all heard of the Epstein stuff, right? But she did work with, or she at least consulted with Pfizer for some legal things in the past. So she was already connected with them. She gets in, and then she wipes away the investigation of them. So very, very worrisome. Pam Bondi.
Glad that was quick. His voice gets on my nerves a little bit. Federal charges have been filed in the alleged misuse of Governor Newsom's homelessness funds in California. Buckle up.
Of where billions of California tax dollars intended to solve homelessness ended up. California has spent more than $24 billion over the last 5 years with little to no progress in solving our homelessness epidemic. California state officials failed to provide meaningful oversight over the individuals who received most of these funds, and they had little to no answers to the public's demand for accountability. Well, that accountability starts today. Today, we are announcing significant developments into our investigation. We're making public 2 criminal cases relating to 2 separate real estate developers who were involved in misappropriating millions of state funds intended to combat homelessness. This morning, federal agents arrested Cody Holmes, a 31-year-old Beverly Hills resident and the former CFO of Shangri-La Industries, a downtown LA-based developer of affordable housing, for defrauding the Home Key program that is administered by the state of California. The program awarded grant money, which included federal tax dollars, for specific projects to convert motels into housing for the homeless and to operate the units. By April of 2022, Shangri-La Industries, where Holmes was the CFO, had co-applied with multiple California cities to convert numerous properties in California, including a location in Thousand Oaks. The state asked for proof that the company had the financial capacity to build all the projects. In response, Holmes and Shangri-La knowingly submitted fake bank statements, which claimed to show that the developer had about $160 million on deposit. Not only were the bank statements fake, our investigation shows that Shangri-La and its affiliates had nowhere near the amount of money they claimed they had in the fake.
Segment 3 this evening is titled The Children and the CIA.
We've learned a lot of unknown activities of the CIA in years past, some of them disturbing, to say the least. Tonight, we'll learn of the agency's interest in children. Paul Altmaier of our investigative unit has assembled these facts.
These are home movies taken in the 1950s at a European camp of the Children's International Summer Village, a program designed to bring together children from around the world for a better understanding of one another. NBC News has learned that the CIA was studying these youngsters, some as young as 11, as possible future recruits. The studies took place at summer camps in Hannefest, Norway and Vienna, Austria in 1959 and 1960. According to CIA documents we've examined, this was Subproject 103 of the agency's top-secret MK-Ultra program. San Antonio, Texas. NBC News has also learned that the CIA paid for a study of adolescence here and in 2 other Texas cities, Austin and El Paso, in 1958 and 1959. It was a study of how youngsters behave without adult supervision. This study, MK-Ultra Subproject 102, refers to data being collected on 462 subjects in 7 secondary schools. No child is identified by name.
What is known tonight is this. Authorities have the children and the 2 men accused of abusing those children, and evidence that they may be only part of a larger, dreadful story. CBS News correspondent Rita Braver reports.
Law enforcement authorities suspect they may have stumbled on an international child abuse ring when an anonymous call led police in Tallahassee, Florida to this park. 2 well-dressed men were discovered with 6 filthy, ragged, insect-bitten children, aged 2 to 6.5. A passerby with a home video camera took these pictures as the men were arrested and booked for child abuse. The children were confused, said they'd been traveling for a long time in a van, stopping at camps. Today, police released these photographs, hoping to learn more about the 6 youngsters who said they didn't know where they came from or where they were going.
At least one of the 6 were sexually abused.
The 2 men reportedly told police the children were being weaned from their mothers and taken to Mexico for a special school for brilliant children. Papers the men were carrying led to Washington, D.C., where police last night searched a residence used by a commune or cult known as the Finders.
The women are always pregnant and they have a child and then they seem like they get pregnant again.
And there was another search at this Finders warehouse where law enforcement authorities said they found a photographic studio, a computer bank, and at least 3 large bags full of slides showing, according to one source, satanic, ritualistic activities involving torture, bloodletting, and sexually explicit acts involving children. Virginia police are now investigating a farm where the group reputedly brought children.
Well, it looked like to me that was awful, didn't weigh very much.
You don't think they were well cared for then?
I think they were malnutrition.
No members of the Finders were apprehended, but police say they do have some leads. The FBI and U.S. Customs Service have now joined the investigation, and officials say they're still trying to figure out exactly what is going on and how these and perhaps other children may be involved. Rita Braver, CBS News, Washington.
On February 7th of 1987, the Washington Post ran an interesting story that did not at first seem to have any particularly national significance. The article concerned a case of possible kidnapping and child abuse, and material discovered in the Washington area that they say points to a 1960s-style commune called the Finders, described in a court document as a cult that conducted brainwashing and used children in rituals. DC police who searched the Northeast Washington warehouse linked to the group removed large plastic bags filled with color slides, photographs, and photographic contact sheets. Some showed naked children involved in what appeared to be cult rituals, bloodletting ceremonies of animals, and one photograph of a child in chains. Customs officials said their links to the DC area led authorities into a far-reaching investigation that includes the Finders, a group of about 40 people that court documents allege is led by a man named Marion Petty, and their various homes, including the duplex apartment in Glover Park, the Northeast Washington warehouse, and a 90-acre farm in rural Madison County, Virginia. It was the U.S. News and World Report that would ultimately provide the follow-up to the Finders story, noting that there is a certain Customs Service memorandum that was written at the time of the original investigation, written by Ramon J. Martinez, Special Agent, United States Customs Service, describing 2 adult white males and 6 minor children ages 7 years to 2 years. The adult males were Michael Houlihan and Douglas Ammerman, both of Washington, D.C., who had been arrested the previous day on charges of child abuse. The children were covered with insect bites, were very dirty. Most of the children were not wearing underpants, and all of the children had not been bathed in many days. The men were somewhat evasive under questioning, and stated only that they were the children's teachers and were en route to Mexico to establish a school for brilliant children. The children were unaware of the functions of telephones, television, and toilets, and stated that they were not allowed to live indoors and were only given food as a reward. Detective Bradley had initiated an investigation on the 2 addresses provided by the Tallahassee Police Department during December of 1986. An informant had given him information regarding the cult, known as the Finders, operating various businesses out of a warehouse located at 1307 4th Street and E, and were supposed to be housing children at 3918/3920 W Street, NW. The information was specific in describing blood rituals and sexual orgies involving children, and an as yet unsolved murder in which the Finders might be involved.
Okay, that's enough of that. That's about half of that video. It's about as much as I feel like listening to. It's pretty gross and brutal, and if you want to go watch and listen to the rest of that video, feel free. This is from the Skiff, and you can probably just type in the Skiff and the Finders Cult on X to be able to find it pretty easily, or you can go to my page. Up to you. Congress Tim Burchett again.
I don't have the tinfoil hat on just yet, Congressman, but I'm wondering, kind of how you react to that, because you are connected, you're on the UFO subcommittee. I mean, I'm just wondering what you make of that. Have you heard anything like that?
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
Wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that?
I'm being 100% serious. Okay. I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is, and I'll just tell you this: if they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up. You'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We just need to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. Well, I was briefed. I'll just tell you this: I was briefed last week on an issue, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth on this country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard. They would demand answers, and we need to. But it's never going to get. Unfortunately, it just keeps getting covered up, and the people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal, and I don't take risks.
I'm glad you said that. I'm speechless, Congressman.
You should be. You should be. And I told the president, release it all. And the problem is, the people that are around the president don't know and the president doesn't know the questions to ask. A few of us are going to have to get with the president and tell him what he needs to ask and where he needs to look. I mean, we're in meetings and they give addresses and tell locations of items, I'll just say. And the public has a right to know that. I mean, it's your tax dollars.
Absolutely.
Let's get it out there.
You got my attention,
Yeah,
Congressman. I appreciate you being as forthcoming as you have been tonight, and we look forward to having you back. Look, I know Donald Trump wants to disclose something. He hasn't done it yet, but I think he wants the president to do.
Two very different messages, both addressed to the American people. One is Trump vowing to hit Iran extremely hard in the coming days, but saying he won't reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The other is Iran's president, who says peace is possible if they look beyond the fake news. So let's break down both and what they mean for where the war is going.
Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine.
A defiant speech with little substance. Trump says the U.S. has almost achieved all of its goals, but that it would continue to escalate attacks on Iran. But no new developments in talks to end the war. He says regime change was never the plan, contradicting his own earlier positions. Instead, he framed U.S. aims now to degrade Iran and prevent it from attacking his regional allies, Israel and the Gulf states.
I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form.
But the message U.S. allies will likely take is the warning he gives about the Strait of Hormuz, walking back earlier promises to reopen it with force. Instead, now he says the U.S. doesn't need the oil in the region and that it's not up to him to protect it.
The countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily.
And if that wasn't clear who he was talking about, he called out his NATO allies by name. At an Easter event earlier in the day, Trump threatened to pull out of the transatlantic alliance altogether.
And I say, Emmanuel, we'd love to have some help in the Gulf. Could you please send ships immediately? No, cannot do that. No, we can do that after the war is won. I said, no, I don't need after the war is won, Emmanuel.
Then there was this bizarre prayer in which Trump was compared to Jesus Christ himself.
You were betrayed and arrested and falsely accused. It's a familiar pattern that our Lord and Savior showed us. And sir, because of his resurrection, you rose up. Because he was victorious, you were victorious.
So what have we learned? While many had predicted Trump to either announce a deal with Iran or a ground operation, nothing new was said. So perhaps like much of his communication over the last few weeks, it could be designed to bring oil prices down before the markets close for the weekend. And now the anxious wait begins to see if another escalation happens on Friday night, a pattern we've now become used to.
The speech was embarrassing, depressing, incoherent, and full of contradictions. I think Iran will be looking at that as a victory speech for them. It was a pity the president could not lay out his case.
But just hours before Trump's speech, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian published a 4-page letter on X addressed to the American public. In it, he said the world stood at a crossroads and that Americans were being lied to about who Iranians were and the threat they posed. He said Iran had never initiated a war and that relations with the U.S. were not always hostile. Instead, he said the U.S. was acting as a proxy for Israel, who wanted to fight Iran to the last American soldier and the last American taxpayer dollar. While it's unlikely most Americans will read this letter, or that it will be covered widely by U.S. media, it does show something interesting, that Iran's leaders are watching closely the conversations happening inside Trump's supporter base. To me, many of these points sound like they came from a Tucker Carlson podcast, and he interviewed Pezeshkian back in July. And polling suggests nearly 2/3 of Americans want the war to end quickly, even if its aims aren't achieved. But these weren't the only world leaders with big statements.
The UK has now brought together 35 nations around our statement of intent to push as one for maritime security across the Gulf.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said the UK is sharing high-level discussions with dozens of countries around reopening the Strait of Hormuz. And while he says the UK would not be dragged into the war, some of those meetings will explore military options. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese also delivered a national address to warn that economic shock from the war on Iran will be felt for months to come. Meanwhile, Iran continues to launch drone and missile attacks across the region after warning tech companies to evacuate their offices in the Gulf. And the UN says the killing of 3 peacekeepers in Lebanon could amount to a war crime. Israel denies it was responsible for the attack on a UNIFIL site as it expands its invasion of the South. That's it from me today. Stay with us on Al Jazeera.
It's part of the program too. When things start to get hot and heavy, you look at people like Burchett, Burleson, and Luna. They've all been brought forward as the UFO people, right? For some reason, they're congressional people who talk about UFOs. Now, there's no real interesting
This is actually related to, I guess, what Tim Burchett just said.
reason in the background why they should, but even Gates was in that program as well. So there's something in that loop. I know there's a Florida connection because Rubio also talked about the UFO file. So there's something in the root of all this where they're trying to say something in the background is saying there's a whole wave of this technology that's coming in. We're going to reveal this
and Vance is
technology.
positioning himself as that.
He is. There's no question about it. He's supposed to be the first. He's the one who can talk openly about it to a new generation. And the only thing I think is fascinating about what he's doing is calling it a demon. You see, if you're a VP and you call UFOs demons, you are really, that is a totally, think about national security. It's taking this guy's idea. Where is he coming from by saying UFOs are demons? So when I think about...
And that's been approved, that's been war game, that's been planned. So in your opinion, why is he doing that?
I think what they're trying to do, they're going to reveal UFOs, and they want to take the Christian audience, which is generally will look at this and say, you know, it's outside of Christian purview with the UFO file. But that's not actually true. But that's how they view it. And they say, we're going to be able to pull this in by saying, hey, they're interdimensional devils. We'll just pull them in this way. And that's how they're a threat. And therefore, we have a war office. We're fighting demons. And they also have been trying to get.
But that goes to Stephen Greer forever saying they're trying to demonize it for a war. But that's
Yes, he does. He's made that point. There's no question about it. I think the only problem I get with some of that is, of course, there's a mix here, which is there's also the Space Brothers idea, right? And this is incredible benevolent Pleiadian groups that are going to come here and rescue humanity. Well, we're in a very interesting paradigm because we need to learn about these things, but we need to learn that the information we're getting on the government side is a complete lie.
The U.S. blows up Iran's biggest bridge. Legal experts say attacks on civilian infrastructure could amount to war crimes. A senior Iranian politician was attacked at his home in Tehran, while Iran remains defiant, saying the U.S. and Israel underestimate their strategic capabilities. Here's everything you need to know about the past 24 hours.
We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages.
شما باید تاوان تجاوزی که آغاز کننده آن بودید را به ملت شرافتمند، عزیز و مسلمان پس بدهید.
The U.S. and Israel continue to target Iranian infrastructure, following Trump's threat to send the country back to the Stone Ages. The biggest target being a new bridge, described as the tallest in the Middle East and an engineering masterpiece that connected Tehran and Karaj. The attack killed at least 8 people and left dozens injured, according to Iranian state media. In response, Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi said it only conveys the defeat and moral collapse of an enemy in disarray. But the U.S. is still threatening to destroy more bridges as well as power plants, which could cut off electricity for millions of people. Since the start of the war, the damage to non-military infrastructure has been tremendous. The Iranian Red Crescent reports that more than 115,000 civilian structures have been impacted, including homes and businesses, and 736 schools and education centers have been hit, and 316 hospitals and medical facilities have been damaged, including a targeted attack on the Pasteur Institute of Iran, a century-old medical research center. Some of those attacks have been incorporated by independent bodies such as the WHO and the UN. In an interview with Al Jazeera, the U.S. State Department spokesperson Tommy Pigott claimed that war on Iran was necessary, as it posed a national security threat because, he says without evidence, it has continually pursued a nuclear weapon.
There was a clear national security threat here. The door to diplomacy was open continually from this administration, and yet we saw the Iranian regime continually try to pursue that nuclear weapon, an intolerable threat.
More than 1 month into the war, the Pentagon is being purged. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has forced the Army Chief of Staff Randy George to step down, and there seems to be other high-level generals on their way out. Observers say it's part of Hegseth's campaign to reshape the culture and politics of the military. Iran's former foreign minister Kemal Karazi has been gravely wounded. An attack on his home in Tehran killed his wife, according to Iran's state media. Karazi is a top diplomat and policy figure who was a senior advisor to Iran's late supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Neither the U.S. or Israel immediately claimed the attack, despite their joint military air campaign against Iran. Meanwhile, the IRGC spokesperson said that the U.S. and Israel do not comprehend the extent of Iran's strategic capabilities and that they have an incomplete understanding of Iran's military power and equipment.
همان گونه که گفته بودیم به دشمنان آمریکایی صهیونیستی اعلام می‌کنیم اطلاعات شما از توان و قدرت نظامی و تجهیزات ما ناقص است. از ظرفیت‌های بسیار گسترده و راهبردی ما هیچ چیز نمی‌دانیم.
An alarm sounded across Israel as Iran launched more attacks, which resulted in several injuries. The IRGC has also claimed to have downed more aircraft. This time it says an Israeli Hermes 900 drone and a U.S. F-35 stealth fighter jet were hit. There's been no immediate comment from the U.S. or Israel, but they've denied similar claims in the past. On the diplomatic front, Russia has signaled it is ready to get involved as a mediator to find a solution. In a statement, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated that President Vladimir Putin is in contact with regional leaders and can contribute to transitioning the situation from a military confrontation toward peace.
Вы знаете, президент Путин является убежденным сторонником того, что все разногласия должны урегулироваться исключительно политико-дипломатическими средствами. И именно об этом президент говорил в ходе своей серии международных телефонных разговоров с главами государств Персидского залива, арабского мира.
And in Lebanon, Israeli forces claim to have killed 40 Hezbollah fighters in its ground invasion in southern Lebanon. Separately, they have also targeted top Hezbollah commander Haj Yusuf Ismail Hashem in Beirut, alleged to run Hezbollah's operations in the south. Hezbollah says it has launched 60 attacks on Israeli ground troops inside Lebanon, as well as strategic locations in the north of Israel. In the Gulf, Iran has issued a warning that top U.S. tech companies in the region, including Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon, are legitimate targets. Following the threat, the IRGC claimed to have targeted an Amazon Web Services center in Bahrain and an Oracle data center in Dubai, although the UAE denied that was the case. That's it for me today. Stay with us at Al Jazeera for every development in the war.
It's new stuff, but it's in all the ancient texts. So clearly, this isn't just modern propaganda. They're trying to spin it. There's something else going on.
There's no question about it. And no, this phenomena has been with us since the beginning of time. There's no question about that. This goes all the way back to the Mayans and the Egyptians. I'm glad you mentioned Gilgamesh because that is actually the original Noah's Ark story. And there's a line in there where they're taking him up in the ship and he's looking down and he says, oh, the earth looks like porridge. Well, if you were going up fast in a craft and looking down at the earth, that would be your explanation in 3000 BC. If you go deep into it, you're going to find the Atlantean explanation for so much.
I agree with you that it is actually a real breakaway civilization. The globalists say there are going to be high-tech reservations, keep us like animals at an agrarian level, and that the earth will just be like a nature preserve, as Jeff Bezos said. Well, that already happened. I agree. They're humanoid, whatever. It's breakaway humans. That's what most people I talk to say it is, that basically are now use us as a form of entertainment or body parts, or they still need the old to control the new, or there's some fetish keeping us around. That this isn't aliens. This is what we hear about with all the ancient cultures. Going back to all the ancient texts. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And when you think about it, the people who are very serious on these subjects, like John Mack, who I got a chance to know, he was over here at Harvard as a professor, as a tenured professor, and they went after him amazingly. He died maybe about 10 years ago, but he had this incredible background, and he went into this subject, and he got attacked for it. And it was interesting. When I talked to him, he said, well, it's nothing at all like we understand, because when the people get abducted in these experiences, they go through things. It's not like they get put into a ship and grabbed and dragged along. They go through walls. So there's a whole different dynamics. There's a whole different physics that's involved here. This is the apotheum. This is the physical reality distortion physics that goes along with this. That's the problem.
But this goes back to the Epic of Gilgamesh, Sumeria. It all describes this. So does the Old Testament, so the Egyptians. So you hear all this new stuff, but it's in all the ancient texts. So clearly, this isn't just modern propaganda. They're trying to spin it. There's something else going on.
There's no question about it. And no, this phenomena has been with us since the beginning of time. There's no question about that. This goes all the way back to the Mayans and the Egyptians. I'm glad you mentioned Gilgamesh, because that is actually the original Noah's Ark story. And there's a line in there where they're taking him up in this ship, and he's looking down and he says, oh, the earth looks like porridge. Well, if you were going up fast in a craft and looking down at the earth, that would be your explanation in 3000 BC, that the earth looks like porridge. There's a series of biblical references around the UFO file. The Ezekiel reference is fascinating, but if you look deeply into that with the wheels within the wheels and the eyes that shift and the wings, he's describing a gigantic machine, and there's no question.
But then he says the creature, the angel, comes off on a floating platform in the Hebrew and Arabic with a crystal dome over its head and then communicates with him. I mean, it's literally Close Encounters.
It is. And what's interesting about that is he's talking about crystals there, and he calls it the terrible crystal. Well, that's very interesting, because Casey's whole story in relation to Atlantis was they had the terrible crystal. They had the two-eye stone. That powered the civilization, but it took everything down. So it was a technology on one hand, but what was the other aspect of it? Well, Casey said they used it to communicate with the saintly realm. So the technology being used is an interdimensional
communication system.
Yes, yes. And it goes both ways, because what they're talking about, when you talk about demons and other things, there's no question that that's a reality. You know, it's fascinating. I had a conversation with Graham Hancock, and Graham Hancock's done a lot of psychedelic experience things, but he's the Atlantis expert. And I had him out here in Cambridge, and we did a whole interview series. Well, it was interesting, because what he said was when he was doing these ayahuasca trips with the DMT and all the rest of it, what was he seeing? He was seeing grays. So the grays were popping into his experience. By the way,
everybody does. Everybody does.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a classic elf. Their grays are like little green hats, and if they get pissed off, they'll pull it off. Like I said, they're like a praying mantis. This is like universal.
It is. And that's a whole shapeshifter quality depending on our own subconscious. I think that is an absolute fact. But it's interesting to me, because a guy like Hancock wasn't even into UFOs, but they're popping into his experience. So they have a way to dance between physical reality. They show up, they disappear. And then when people are into these psychedelic spiritual seeking trips, they show up there as well.
Well, that's it. Our brain is the control panel. So
yes, exactly.
A real enemy doesn't go up with tanks. It goes into your brain.
Right, exactly. And your brain is the interactive point. It's interesting when they've gone to redevelop the craft, some of the very clear cases, it's much fuzzier now after the fact with these whistleblowers. But if you go into the older cases, you find the actual facts of these people who came forward and said, when we sent people in to redevelop the craft, a number of strange experiences happened to them. They couldn't spend more than 20 minutes inside those craft.
Because the veil was lifted.
Exactly. So it's not just like, hey, there's a crashed UFO and a bunch of dead bodies. You're dealing with a whole, as you mentioned, interdimensional experience when you're dealing with this. Because if those people, when they interact at that level, they start seeing their loved ones who are deceased, or they start having psychic experience. Why does, in a number of those cases of the UFO contactees, their psychic experience goes off the charts? Suddenly they become telepathic. Suddenly they become psychic, you know, they can do psychic trance readings. They can see into the future. Well, obviously the interactions brought them to an entirely different level, and that's opened up some latent quality deep inside.
It activates the synapses that we're all electrochemical transceivers. It's been proven. I know you're the big health guy. You're way better shape than I am. Don't kick my ass. I've seen you working on the Liver King. You say you've taken medicine before.
And he woke me up, and I said, yeah, I'm awake. What's going on? He said, well, I have some people here from Department of the Army, and they have a target for you. And I said, okay, what do you want me to do? He said, well, he said, I have an envelope here. There's nothing written on it. It's in my pocket. Tell me something about it. So it started out with a really large pyramid. And I said, first thing, words out of my mouth was, this must be a new discovery. And he said, why do you say that? And I said, because it's huge. It's bigger than the Pyramid of Giza. Must be a new discovery somewhere. And then he said, well, tell me something about it. That's what I want to know. And so I said, it's got really large rooms inside. It's kind of surprising because the way pyramids are built, that can't be done. You can't have large rooms inside because of the weight of the construction. So it must be some new form of construction. So are you sure it's not a new discovery? And he said, just tell me what I need to know. So I said, well, it appears to be some form of protection of survivors of some cataclysm. And they're in stasis. They were waiting for somebody to come. I said, but I think it's too late. I think they're all dead. And he said, why do you say that? And I said, because I feel like the messages I'm getting are like leftover mental images, things that they pass differently from normal or something like that. So he asked me some other questions. He moved me around in the target and asked me some other questions, I think. And it turned out there were 6 specific targets that I was given in that particular case. And all 6 of them I described exactly what was standing there. And when I say that, I mean what was also pictured in negatives by JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, California. And so I finally said, it's like a special race of people or something. I'm getting humans just like we are, but I'm not so sure they're humans like we understand human, because they're way bigger. So what do you mean? I said they're like 10 feet tall, really huge, but they're proportionately the same and very human-like. So I don't know what's going on here. I said, and the sun looks really weird. And he said, I don't care about the sun. Tell me more what's on the ground. So we basically finished the whole line of it. And I came out. And I said, what's going on? And I was introduced to these people. And the guy that had brought them was Fred Atwater, my old training officer. So this was, as far as I was concerned, was an active mission, because we were still doing remote viewing with the project. And so I said, so where is this? Is this a new discovery or something? And he says, well, Bob's got the envelope. It has a target identified in it. And Bob, oh yeah, I got it right here. And he pulled it out of his shirt pocket and just opened it up as an envelope. Nothing written on it. And so we opened up the envelope, and inside it said Mars, 1 million years BC.
What would be your advice when it comes to the release of these, the UFO files? Final question. Because, that's clearly something that, people are buzzing a bit about, starting to see some, weird
maybe disappearing over. I think that as these lawmakers, what if what we're seeing here, Benny, is that as these lawmakers are getting closer to the authorities to put this all out, people are disappearing who might have key, I don't know that we can view the path toward transparency and the progress made as entirely independent from these people just being disappeared who are around the mission. So that's kind of scary and awful to think about. But I do think we're on the march toward it. I think there has to be, immediately we have to start thinking about putting people in witness protection if they've been around these missions, because the coincidences are starting to stack up, and they may just be coincidences, but I would start with protecting your evidence. And that evidence comes in two forms: documents and testimony. So protect the evidence, protect the people, and then ultimately you need kind of a church-style commission. And you got to get past the slow walk of usual congressional oversight. This has to be accelerated, and I'm glad there are people trying to get us the truth, but they face serious headwinds.
This is exactly what Matt's talking about right here. The number of scientists who've studied this, been part of the Skunk Works program or been part of the UFO technology program, they're just going poof. They're disappearing. Burchett talked about this last week.
Yeah,
he was on the show.
Yeah, it's like Beebe said they were 2 weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon or something.
You think that these people are legit? Do you believe that they're legitimately disappearing?
I've talked to a number of homicide detectives and other law enforcement professionals who say that these are exactly the type of fact patterns where you have common work, common employment, where you would have a central node of these investigations, and you would be looking at them and trying to see what commonalities exist, what even the lack of evidence, right? Even the manner in which some of these crimes, almost in an unworldly and mysterious way, have no physical evidence. It is concerning. And I think it needs to be investigated as one fact pattern, and at least determine whether or not that's what we're watching.
It's hard to talk about dimensions, but I was standing behind an alien in a spacecraft, just a small one, which I understand get bigger and smaller depending upon. At any rate, he said, "You shouldn't be here." And I said, "I know, I realize this is a strange place, but before I go, could I ask you a question?" And this is really a very strong memory. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night, but this is in there. I'm telling myself I'm silly again. Dude, it's not in there. At any rate, and he said, "Okay." And I said, "How do you get from here to Alpha Centauri?" We can't do that. The only thing that we think about is, I have to go really fast for a really long time. How is it that you can go to Alpha Centauri without any problem? And essentially he said, "You wouldn't understand." So I said, "I agree, that's a problem. However, I know that you have access to my mental thoughts." You're not talking to me with your mouth, you have access to my mental thoughts, and I understand that. Can you use what information I have in my head and try to explain it to me? And he said, "Well, do you know what a Rubik's Cube is?" And I said, "Oh yeah, my son can do them in 2 minutes." He says, "Okay, so imagine a Rubik's Cube, but not necessarily just the 6 sides. Just imagine the concept of a Rubik's Cube." And I said, "Okay. Now imagine on each one of the tiles on the Rubik's Cube has a chart of the elements, an elemental chart. And you say, oh yeah, I know what that is. I've had science in school and everything. He says, now, on each of the other 5 surfaces, there's also elemental charts. And I said, so, okay, but what's the deal? And he said, well, you're thinking about going that way very fast for a very long time. What he didn't say to me, which I'm thinking right now, there's no space and time. I'm only thinking that right now. That wasn't part of the explanation. And he says, so what you do to get up to Alpha Centauri is you just twist the cube. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I told you you wouldn't understand. And he said, when the periodic table occurs in a different place, you're at that place. And that's just a very crude explanation. But you have to stop thinking about go that way for a long time very fast. It doesn't work.
And it was the sanctuary policy that attracted them there. The easiest way to get rid of sanctuary policies is maybe we should start charging the politicians with crimes that vote for the sanctuary policies and make them accessories to whatever crimes are committed by illegal immigrants in those jurisdictions, because to me they're absolutely complicit in the crime, because it never should have happened in the first place, but for those sanctuary policies, but for some politician voting, thinking that that's okay. And
why is all this relevant now? Because what's happening in Iran is the end of American empire as we understand it. And that's sad. Boo-hoo, empire's dying. But it's not the end of the United States. It's not the end of our influence on other nations, hopefully positive influence. It's not the end of our economy. It's the beginning of a very rough time in our economy, of course. But it's hardly the end of it. What we've been doing for likely your lifetime, if you're under 80, is, well, it's not working anymore. It hasn't actually helped the United States long term. Your grandkids at this point don't have the promise of a better life than you had. So it's not actually a successful experiment. And now it's ending because we've reached the limits of our demonstrated power. We can't open the Straits of Hormuz. The President of the United States said that last night. Someone else do it. So we're done. That's okay. It was always going to end. Hopefully we can get out without a nuclear exchange. But now it is ending. And there's going to be a lot of suffering and sadness as a result of that end, but there is an awful lot of promise. Promise that the United States can act in its own interest, that it can be reasonable, that it will not be governed by deranged people seized by hubris or get way out over their skis and get a ton of people killed. You don't have to occupy countries you've never been to, can't identify on a map. I mean, what we're doing doesn't work, whether you approve of it morally or not. And we're going to do something else, and that something else is starting right now. So the only point is, you could, with wise leadership, turn this to the advantage of the United States and the Western Hemisphere very, very easily. And there's one other advantage to this moment, which is that it has been clarifying. All of a sudden, we know what everybody in authority thinks because they've been saying it, because under pressure, people confess. The pressure, of course, is this war, which a lot of people in our commentariat, a lot of people in our government, certainly in our Congress, a lot of people in Israel wanted. They all wanted this. And it didn't work the way they said it would. And even now, it could go really, really wrong. And lots of Americans could die. Relatively speaking, a lot have died. Oh, the casualty numbers are so low. Okay. How about if that was your son? Would you feel they were low? Americans have died for this at the instigation of Israel to no material benefit to our country. And everyone knows that. There's no denying it. That's not a conspiracy theory. It's just a fact. And now it's completely out in the open. So those ideas, neoconservatism, the preservation of empire, the idea that you take orders from a tiny country far away, all of those things have risen right to the surface, no longer whispered about. We can just say it openly because no one's hiding it anymore. And we can all say they're destructive, stupid, and bad for the United States. So those debates are over. We now know what's going on, and now we can change it.
Our wonderful Tina could come out of a jail, in a high-intensity jail, because she caught people cheating on an election, and they said she was cheating. She wasn't cheating. She went over, she looked at one of the election scams going on, and because she did that, they put her in jail for 9 years. The governor of Colorado is a weak and pathetic man who was run by Tren de Aragua, the criminals from Venezuela, took over sections of Colorado, and he was afraid to do anything. But he puts Tina in jail for 9 years because she caught people cheating. And when she walked over and got involved in it, they said she was cheating. She wasn't cheating. She caught people cheating on the election, 2020, along with a lot of other people that cheated on that election. You'll see that coming out more and more. But there's no doubt that America's adversaries are trafficking fentanyl into the United States, in part because they want to kill America.
ISIS calls for churches and synagogues across the U.S. and Europe to be burned this weekend, from the New York Post. And it's basically just the same post again right here. I said, high alert, false flags likely, be safe. Some people are speculating that Lee Zeldin could be picked for the AG.
Major steps in today's announcement to make America healthy again. I'm pleased to announce a landmark set of actions by EPA to safeguard the nation's drinking water from microplastics, pharmaceuticals, forever chemicals, and dozens of other contaminants. At the heart of these actions is our draft 6th contaminant candidate list, known as CCL6, which we are releasing today for public comment. CCL6 is a critical tool under the Safe Drinking Water Act that drives research, funding, and future regulation of emerging threats in public water systems. The draft CCL6 includes 4 contaminant groups: microplastics, pharmaceuticals, PFAS, and disinfection byproducts. It also covers 75 chemicals and 9 microbes that may be found in drinking water. And now, for the first time in the program's history, EPA is designating both microplastics and pharmaceuticals as priority contaminant groups. This is a direct response to the concern of millions of Americans who have long demanded answers about what they and their families are drinking every day. It's also a credit to the tireless efforts, research, and advocacy of the dozens of microplastics and drinking water experts, including many who we have here in the room today. This draft CCL6 is going to help us prioritize funding, research, and information collection. This will allow us to better understand the potential risks of these substances in drinking water while advancing gold standard science. For too long, Americans have been ignored as they sound the alarm about plastics in their drinking water. That ends today. By placing microplastics on the contaminant candidate list for the first time ever, EPA will follow the science, will pursue answers, and will hold ourselves to the highest standards to protect the health of Americans. Today's announcement marks the beginning of a 60-day public comment period, and we encourage Americans far and wide to make their voice heard and to give us feedback. We want your input. I can't think of an issue that hits closer to home for American families than the safety of their drinking water. And I want to be clear, this is just the first step in the regulatory process. The human health benchmarks for pharmaceuticals or not regulations are not enforceable on their own, but they are a vital resource that can empower local decision makers to evaluate risks and protect their communities when pharmaceutical contamination is detected above safe levels. Today's actions represent a major step forward for drinking water. We are ensuring that the science catches up with the real-world challenges Americans face, and we are giving regulators the tools they need to act. This is a win for every American.
Facilities are getting attacked. Wouldn't you join? Your nuclear facilities are getting attacked. Wouldn't you join your national cyber army? Well, many did. And that's why today Iran has one of the largest cyber armies in the world. So whoever initiated this and was very proud of themselves to see that little dip in Iran's centrifuge numbers should look back now and acknowledge that it was a major mistake.
Very quickly, Iran sent a message to the United States. Very sophisticated message. And they did that with 2 attacks. First, they attacked Saudi Aramco, the biggest oil company in the world, and wiped out every piece of software, every line of code on 30,000 computer devices. Then, Iran did a surge attack on the American banks.
The most extensive attack on American banks ever, launched from the Middle East, happening right now.
Millions of customers trying to bank online this week blocked. Among the targets, Bank of America, PNC, and Wells Fargo. The U.S. suspects hackers in Iran may be involved.
When Iran hit our banks, we could have shut down their botnet, but the State Department got nervous because the servers weren't actually in Iran. So until there was a diplomatic solution, Obama let the private sector deal with the problem.
I imagine that in the White House Situation Room, people sat around and said, let me be clear, I don't imagine, I know. People sat around in the White House Situation Room and said, the Iranians have sent us a message, which is essentially, stop attacking us in cyberspace the way you did at Natanz with Stuxnet. We can do it too.
There are unintended consequences of the Stuxnet attack. You wanted to cause confusion and damage to the other side, but then the other side can do the same to you. The monster turned against its creators, and now everyone is in this game.
They did a good job in showing the world, including the bad guys, what you would need to do in order to cause serious trouble that could lead to injuries and death.
It's inevitable that more countries will acquire the capacity to use cyber, both for espionage and for destructive activities. And we've seen this in some of the recent conflicts that Russia's been involved in. If there's a war, then somebody will try to knock out our communications system or the radar.
State-sponsored cyber sleeper cells, they're out there everywhere today. It could be for communications purposes, it could be for data exfiltration, it could be to, shepherd in the next Stuxnet.
I mean, you've been focusing on Stuxnet, but that was just a small part of a much larger Iranian mission.
There was a larger Iranian mission?
Nitro Zeus. NZ. We spent hundreds of millions, maybe billions on it. In the event the Israelis did attack Iran, we assumed we would be drawn into the conflict. We built in attacks on Iran's command and control system so the Iranians couldn't talk to each other in a fight. We infiltrated their IADs, military air defense systems, so they couldn't shoot down our planes if we flew over. We also went after their civilian support systems, power grids, transportation, communications, financial systems. We were inside, waiting, watching, ready to disrupt, degrade, and destroy those systems with cyber attacks. In comparison, Stuxnet was a back alley operation. NZ was the plan for a full-scale cyber war with no attribution. Everyone I know is basically thrilled with the Iran deal. Sanctions and diplomacy worked. But behind that deal was a lot of confidence in our cyber capability. We were everywhere inside Iran, still are. I'm not going to tell you the operational details of what we can do going forward or where, but the science fiction cyber war scenario is here. That's Nitro Zeus. But my concern, and the reason I'm talking, is because when you shut down a country's power grid, it doesn't just pop back up. You know, it's more like Humpty Dumpty. And if all the king's men can't turn the lights back on or filter the water for weeks, then lots of people die. And something we can do to others, they can do to us too. Is that something that we should keep quiet? Or should we talk about it?
I've gone to many people in this film, even friends of mine, won't talk to me about the NSA or Stuxnet even off the record for fear of going to jail. Is that fear protecting us?
No, but it protects me.
We've got to deal with things like Antifa. The president rightly declared them a terrorist organization. We want to see people who are affiliated with these Marxist networks funding Antifa, creating all sorts of danger for the American people. We want them held accountable. We want the people who are harassing J6ers held accountable. We want to know the truth on Arctic Frost. My records were targeted under Arctic Frost, Jack Smith. We want to see heads roll. Okay. We want to see John Brennan, who the Judiciary Committee referred to the Department of Justice, held accountable, and Jim Comey. Like, these are all things that we think need to happen. The next Attorney General needs to be very aggressive, and I hope the president will pick somebody who will do that. And I've been working with Todd Blanche, and I look forward to working with him in the interim.
Okay. Well, certainly there is a lot at stake, and certainly some of the issues that you brought up are things that we know President Trump wants to see happen, and maybe Pam Bondi wasn't the right person to get those accomplishments done.
We've got to deal with things like Antifa. The president rightly declared them a terrorist organization. We want to see people who are affiliated with these Marxist networks funding Antifa, creating all sorts of danger for the American
game
people.
Going in the
we
background.
want them held accountable. We want the
screwing up my
some
screen.
issues about the bullet that killed that guy of Charlie Kirk. I'm
Yes.
sorry, and I didn't mean to say that guy.
Yeah,
but I wasn't.
Let me clarify that. I think, and we'll find out if this is correct. But I see headlines and I see the way people are talking about it, and I don't know if it's accurate.
Yeah.
Because what I think is accurate is what they're saying is that from the fragments of the bullet, they were unable to determine that it came from that Mauser rifle.
I see.
My issue with it, and I'm no expert, but I have shot things. Like, I'm a hunter. I've shot things with rifles. I've shot a lot of rifles.
Mm-hmm.
A 30-06 is a big round. That's a big round. Show me an image.
Would it hurt if it hit you? It would hurt
Experts
bad, huh?
debunked Tyler Robinson's ballistic claim. Unable to identify is not the same as ruled out, which is exactly what I'm saying. Right. So show me an image of a 30-06 round, 30-06 rifle round. I want you to look at this. Look at the size of that fucker. Okay. Look at a 30-06 versus a 308.
That's a fucking paperweight.
A 30-06 it's a big round. You see it in that guy's hand?
Yeah. Oh my God. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. That's 30-06. So
that's a fat little hand though. Too. Look at that thing.
That's like my hand. This is the point. Is that's a big round. That's not a small round. I mean, I don't know. What isn't it compared to? I use a 300 Win Mag.
Look at that on the right there. You just had it. Those cartridges.
5.56. Yeah. Is meant for war. 30-06 is meant for hunting. No, I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, that doesn't look realistic.
That's what a 30-06 looks like. Okay. In comparison to a quarter. So you look at it. So the quarter's about that high. It's about that big. That's a big round, dude. That's a round for hunting like elk. Like, it's a very common round.
What the hell's going on?
Well, see, do me a favor and compare 30-06 to 300 Win Mag. Compared to 300 Win Mag.
I'm just scared, dude.
So 300 Win Mag, I think, is fatter. Let's see the difference.
What the hell?
Okay.
Bear with me, guys.
There it is. 300 Win Mag on the left. Oh, 30-06 is bigger.
Oh, look.
Okay.
Little couple.
Is that real? Which one's which, though? Show me that one far left, right there. Okay, 300 Win Mag and 30 odds. So 300 Win Mag has a little bit more powder in it. See how it goes higher up? So it has more charge. It's a bigger round. But my point is, that's a big round.
That's enough of emphasis on that. The White House said it would ask Congress for about $1.5 trillion in defense in 2027. I've been saying this actually since last year, whenever they first mentioned it, for the 2027 budget. The highest level in modern history. The highest ever, I believe.
There are several names reportedly being floated to replace Bondi. Environmental Protection Agency head Lee Zeldin is seen as a favorite. Sources say Blanche could be nominated permanently as well, but Democrats say Blanche, who served as the president's personal attorney in 3 of his criminal trials, is another loyalist.
It doesn't give me a lot of comfort that it's Todd Blanche, who's now the acting Attorney General of the United States. This is the guy who transferred Ghislaine Maxwell from the higher security prison to the low security prison camp in Texas, and is arranged for a very
Yeah, I mean, Lee Zeldin's a lot better than Blanche. I'll go with Lee Zeldin any day. All right, let's go ahead and switch on over to the game. Hopefully, don't screw with my screen too much. Let's see if I get full screen up in here. I forgot what resolution my screen is. Ooh, let's put it on extreme. See what happens. Motion blur. I don't want any motion blur. Everything on ultra. Ultra performance. Let's go with that one. Advanced physics. I should be able to run it at full specs, hopefully. I wish there was like a setting that just automatically that went towards my computer. Make everything 10 times easier. Uh-oh, what just happened? Probably gonna have to restart the game. What did I do? Applying changes. Uh-oh, we got a loading screen. Don't tell me this is the first time I pushed the limits of this computer. Damn. Should have restarted the game. Maybe it's like applying the shaders or something. It's not really saying what it's doing, but guessing. Here we go. Why don't I make it full screen? Hey, they did it. Cool. I gotta make sure it's okay on y'all's side. I'll have to do that after I let it play out for a minute though. New game. Yeah, I'm starting over. I'm just gonna do normal, because I'm not too familiar with the Metro series, but...
I still remember life before the war. I remember that we used to be different. Used to live up there, on the surface. We used to be the masters of the whole world. We built gigantic cities of glass and steel. We crossed the oceans at will. And we also conquered the skies. There used to be 7 billion of us. We were not born for life in the tunnels. I was born to breathe fresh air, and I remember it. The 7 billion were wiped out by the last war. Only 50,000 managed to survive underground, with the surface poisoned, burnt, and teeming with horrible monsters. One day the radiation on the surface might subside, and our grandchildren or their grandchildren might be able to return there. At least that's what my brothers in arms from the Order believe. Basically, there was no hope for us right off the start. Still, we humans are just too bad at surrendering. We tried to make the best of what we had, banded together, and worked to make the Metro our new home. After all, it might well be the only place left on Earth for humans to live.
I'll have to fix the screen here in a second.
We thought we could make it. But, regrettably, the war didn't kill our bad habits. In the relative safety of the tunnels, corruption festered. And when danger came from above the ground, only a few of us stood against it, our numbers dwindling by the day. But I remember we were born for a better life. And I can't accept that I'm destined to grow old and die underground. I don't care if I'm called an idiot. But if even a single shard of the old world still exists out there, I have to find it. Between endless years of hopeless existence and even a single moment of hope, I must choose hope. I must find that signal.
Okay, looks a lot better. Alright, let me fix this screen real quick for everybody. I know it doesn't look exactly how it needs to look right now. That's not what I want. That's the wrong one. I know I clicked on that one. Uh-oh. Yep. Let's do this all weird on a... Yep. The screen am I cutting off here? I'm cutting off quite a bit, aren't I? I guess as long as we get the majority on there. For some reason this laptop's resolution is kind of weird. It's more of like a full screen. Doesn't necessarily look like the wide screens that are on most TVs nowadays. We're just gonna go with that though. Close enough. Close enough. You get most of the game. Shut up. Go buy it. Go play it. I'm just kidding. Kidding. Let's go. Looks like it plays Extreme pretty well. That's good. Guess I don't have to worry about this game anymore. I can actually enjoy it. It's not time to change it, is it? I don't think so. Do I need to heal? Heck yeah. It doesn't have much music, but at the same time, I kind of want to listen to the enemies. How can I use this? Yum.
Move! It's nighttime at this station. Don't worry. I told you. I got it! Open up! Go! Here come the Spartans. Looks like Artyom's been on another one of his mad trips up top. Hey, Duke, wait a minute. Where to now? Left, across the square. Hey, Damir, do you think the Colonel knows what Artyom been up to here? How am I supposed to know? Ask him yourself. He radioed from the ring, said he'd be here tomorrow. Hey, you, leave him alone. I killed him myself with my slingshot. Let him learn to stand up for himself. How else can he hope to survive in the metro? Rise and shine, people! Hang in there, Artyom. You gonna get a fresh dose of Spartan blood now?
Artyom, are you awake? It's okay. The doctor said you'll be fine. Are you trying to kill me with worry?
Dang, she looks a lot better.
Don't return from the surface. There's no one out there, Artyom. No one to find, no one to talk to. If there was, don't you think they'd be here already? We've talked about this again and again. You have to accept it. There's only us.
Colonel. Hello, Alex. There you are, you stubborn fool. How many times are we going to have this conversation? I don't care if you kill yourself over this silly dream of yours. But don't you see what you're doing to my daughter? Your wife?
Dad, please.
The Order is short on men after the battle for D6. But you leave. People need you, and you pursue your selfish obsession. But now this shit has to stop. There's only Metro, nothing else. And the Order is here to defend it. Because if not us, then who? You look fine to me. So, get ready to go. Then, we'll discuss your transfer to Polis. Come, we need to talk.
I'll get the doctor. Artyom, please, promise me this was the last time. I'll see you later.
Artyom, we managed to bring you back from the brink, but people are giving you their blood, which could save so many wounded, and you keep bringing it back irradiated. Don't you think that is unfair? Let me put it this way. I can't promise I'll be able to bring you back next time.
Radiated blood.
They sure are. I cannot remember the last time I saw a bunch of healthy and fit people down here.
Yeah, me neither. It's a shame they spend so much time on the surface.
Wanna talk to me?
Just try to take better care of yourself, huh? Even if you find someone else out there, they probably have their own troubles. So what would contacting them even accomplish? Besides, I remember we used to receive signals from the outside pretty frequently soon after the bombs fell.
You'll need to save power. I gotta turn off your lights.
Doesn't that tell you anything? It's your
I left the order, and now nobody gets to decide for me. As for Artyom...
Oh, I can't believe my eyes. Artyom, you're all right. You gave us a scare, brother. Artyom, how are you, friend? I see you're all right.
Gentlemen, give way.
This calls for a celebration.
Artyom. A few more scars and you'll be completely irresistible to any woman. Speaking of which...
Alyosha,
how
you're
are the
your
nurses
usual
in the
self,
hospital,
guys.
huh?
Would you just stop crowding him?
Brother.
Welcome back, Artyom.
Привет, Artyom.
All right, you're all dismissed. I give you 2 hours, people.
Yeah! Oh, it's official. I knew it.
You guys are like kids.
So I brought something.
And here we go again.
Please, let's not repeat the last
Hold
time.
on, Artyom.
More of nothing? Artyom, the only thing I can hear is that Geiger counter ticking. Yes, and there's also those damn things. Calling all the time. Let's go home, dear, please. Don't you think I'd also love to live on an ocean beach or in a green forest? But what good are these fantasies in a silent world? Silent, Artyom? Because it's dead.
Searching for that signal, babe.
We took our time. Time to replace our filters.
Anything else?
Come on, replace your filter. Haven't you spent enough time in the sick bay? Oh, Father will kill me if he finds out I went up with you. Twice if he learns we've been to a Hansa off-limit zone. Have you been to all these ruins? See all the destruction. And Moscow had the best anti-air defenses in the country. If this is how it looks now, imagine how the rest of the world looks. There's just no way anything can live up here but monsters. Look, maybe you should come back to the Order. We'll move to Polis. Dad says he'll arrange a flat for us. Because if not us, then who? A flat with a kitchen and a shower. Let's go in turns here. It's not stable enough. Careful. At least it held. Well, I'd say we're out of the woods. Look, hear that? again. Watchmen! One more! They probably heard us coming down from the roof and decided to ambush us. The beasts are getting smarter. Let's pick up the pace. Now the whole area knows we're here.
Good strong one. Let me take off my mask, jeez. Forgot to check those bodies for ammo. Hold on.
Hear that? It's a pack. Just what we need. Mutants hate each other as much as they hate us. I really don't get why this zone is off limits to stalkers. The radiation and beasts are nothing special. So, the pack is here. So, do we turn it? It's on! Okay!
Got ammo? No? I thought they had ammo on them sometimes.
I mean, if all the packs here are like that. How about we take the bridge to cross the railroad? It would save us a detour. Damn, too high. Hey, Artyom, help me get out there. Shit! Come up now. I got you.
I like her. It's actually helpful.
At least it was far away. Now that's what I call a blizzard. Can't see a thing. Or hear. Let's switch to radios. What? Artyom, are you seeing this? I'm not just imagining things, right? A train! A damn train on the surface! Where? Shit! What do we do, Artyom? Should we catch up with it? Look! It's our guys from the Order! Looks like they're chasing that train too. Let's join them! How did you guys get here? Did you see that thing out there?
We sure did! Come on, get in!
Oh shit. I forgot they were frauds, man. Or maybe it's... I think it's another faction or something, I can't remember. It's been a while.
You should have checked first, assholes! Artyom, thank God. These people, they're Hansa, not the Order. Assholes. They did a number on you. Well, Dad will rip them a new one
Look
for
what's
that.
going on in this Moscow of yours anyways.
Of yours. You're putting this like you're not from here.
We aren't. Our village is about 200 kilometers from here.
What village? You're not from Moscow?
Just a regular village. We came here to find the boy's father. Left for Moscow about a year ago and never came back. But then we got caught by these here.
You mean there's life outside?
Why wouldn't there be any? Sure, there are lots of bad places and lots of beasts around, but we still get by.
Artyom, you're right. People really do live out there. We didn't know. We thought we were the only survivors. God, we'll tell the whole metro about this.
The heck and the boy out!
Hey, you people drove us halfway to nowhere.
They can handle it.
At least give them their masks back.
Fool, he could have lived. Let's go.
See what that was. That feels like Half-Life. Found the train. Long drop, bro. Maybe not. I don't know. Kind of looked like it was.
Damn, the watchman broke through. Workers are done for.
Keep your weapon trained in the open. If anything comes through, shoot. Should send a group there to seal the exit.
Attention! The turntable is switching on.
Enough of your whining, you old fuck!
I'm straight for the ravine if you don't shut up.
Now listen, if you come out of here, we won't accept this shit again. Okay?
Animals. How can they? What can I do? A mutant? Watchman! A human? How did you... Oh my God. It's you she's been screaming about. Alive! You came for her. All right. I'll help. Finally, I'll be of some use. Okay, they took the girl to the base chief for interrogation. I can't take you to the main entrance. Too many guards. But we may sneak in from the back. Let's go. Don't rush, though. If they notice you, we're both done for. Wait. You'd better not walk into the light. Let's do it this way. You sneak to the lighting panel and disable it while I distract them. Looks like they didn't finish the repairs at the generator, Sergeant.
Oh, you turned quite civil again, Yermak. So you can use your head after all. Yermak, is that you? What are you doing? Come here, help me fix this. Come on. Fixing this should be nothing for you.
Simon Mikhail, there's a failure at the generators. What?
Yeah, you tell me what I should do. Better fix this line here. Everything is under control. Move it.
You'll have to take him down. Can you do it quietly?
What's with that mumbling?
I'm just talking to myself. I got a memory problem, you see. Let's go. Wait a moment. Wait. He's looking this way, and we need to get to that door. Try distracting him. Look, there's some garbage around. Throw some. Great. Now throw it. I hope the noise distracts him. Well done. Let's go. Come. Go through. Come on. Good luck to you. This system supplies air for the command center.
No matter who you are, when he learns what he's done to Artyom,
I will, of course, do what I can.
people are throwing things on this. They come to Moscow looking for us, and we never even saw them, because you
Who the fuck are you?
Artyom!
Throw me at you! You fucker!
Artyom! Oh my God! You're alive! Alive! Are you hurt? Hunter's badge? It stopped the bullet!
Take this, bitch!
be enough for you now, you
What is this
imbeciles.
equipment?
This is the universal broadband radio jammer.
What?
It stops Moscow from hearing anyone, and them from hearing us. Shit. This one sucks.
Do you hear that, Artyom? You were right all along. Do you see? It's not just Russia out there. It's the whole world. Oh my God. What for?
Because the war is still going on, and you behave like fucking cats.
All the guards will be here soon. Damn.
Don't shoot.
Artyom?
You have to run. Is this yours? They just left it sitting there. We must get out before they recover. Guards! You have to go sneak through the courtyard. Take the door the guards are coming through. Here, quick! Let's go!
Who are you?
Andrei Ivanovich, the train engineer. Run now! Just get to the hangar, then go to the... I'll get you out of here. So I get there easily.
Why are you helping us, Andrei Ivanovich?
I had... I guess I'll tell you later. I hope.
Hey guys,
be careful.
Hey!
Artyom, I see the enemy. Give me a boost. Can't really see well with the snowstorm. Don't forget your visibility gauge, Artyom.
If you don't move too fast and don't come out into the light, you'll be harder for them to notice. Don't turn your flashlight on either, they could notice. Artyom, incoming, 2 of them. I'll give you some cover from above.
Yeah, sure. And then they just walked in here all by themselves, did they? A chopper brought them and then scooted. Oh, yeah. Agent Ag reporting. That's really your preferred to be serious. Yeah, I don't know shit. Did anyone check the generator? Shit is small. The Northwest wasn't covered for days, and you could hear signals from the outside.
Attention! The command center came under enemy attack. The attackers are assumed to still be on the base territory.
Artyom, I'm changing position.
All unauthorized persons are to be fired upon immediately. Civilian personnel movement
Well
is
done. You're
prohibited
almost
until
at the
further
hangar.
notice.
Smooth sailing from here.
Attention! The jamming system is coming back online.
Great job, Artyom. We're inside. You can take the mask off, Artyom. Now we have to find Yermak.
Take my mask off. There we go.
Aha, the engine is here.
Yes, sir.
Artyom, they got Yermak. We have to get closer. If you get closer, I'll distract them while you rescue the old man.
Telling you, there was a noise from behind the gate.
There's nobody out there, that's for sure. It's the outside gate, so it could only be watchmen.
What if it's the attackers?
Group A, report your status.
Gotta tell maintenance.
Group C, continue patrolling the hangar. Group A, check the courtyard and generator room. Communications were lost there.
Damn, how many guards do they have?
They just had to attack now, these fuckers. Now I'll be stuck here for at least a week longer. It's been over.
Go outside and check. Fuck that. What if it's demons?
Group D, redeploy to the wind turbine zone.
Aha, you can sneak ahead. No need to play heroes for a change. Let's wait till they walk off.
I repeat, Group D redeploy to the wind turbine zone immediately. Group B is under heavy attack from watchmen.
Why do you even want to do that now? You only had an outing plan for tomorrow. It's bound to be cancelled now. Just stay put for now. We'll have to have a long talk later about breaking the rules. So nice not to expect a bullet to...
All clear.
Am I glad to see you here?
Are you all right?
I'm fine, thank you. All right. We don't have much time. They'll be back. I'll go to the engine. It should be ready now. You go up there and switch the turntable mechanism on.
More guards. Turn the turntable on.
Alert! All group, through the hangar!
Oh, visual on the enemy! We've a man down here!
hands. Are you okay?
Hey, there's a manual drive on the platform. It's hard to drive. It's just a little bit.
More guards, get them.
He's moving the other way.
Let's do this together. Just a little. Yes. Run! Kill them! Come on! Yes!
Haven't kissed her once. It's my wife, supposedly.
It's above the mast, son. The sails might be damaged.
We did it! Yeah!
We apprehended the engineer with 2 accomplices. Over. Roger that, base. Over. All right, shoot these 2. And as for the engineer...
What do you mean, shoot these 2?
Don't you dare give me lip, soldier.
Yeah, the Colonel will give you a piece of his mind now. Colonel, sir, we have a situation here. Anna!
Dad! Guys! It's us! Help us!
What the hell?
Artyom, what are you doing here?
Talk about surprise. Colonel, it will mean court-martial for all of you.
All right, everyone, shut up! I can't believe this. Just can't. Shit!
So this is true? You're working for them? The bastards shot Artyom!
Be quiet! How did you end up here? Ah, it doesn't matter. You have no idea what you just stuck your heads in. We've no moves left. Hansa can't take this line down.
No shit,
the Watchers
Sherlock.
won't let them.
No, I won't be quiet! What is this jammer for? Why are they hiding the fact that Moscow didn't survive alone? There, in the ravine, there are people from other cities, dead! All of them,
Everyone shut
women,
up!
children!
I'll tell you all later. Everything. Gramps, what's going on out there? Down this road?
The road is fine, at least until 100 click mark.
Is there a safe place to stop nearby?
Of course. We have to make haste though. They called the cruiser.
All right, gentlemen. Artyom and Anna have just made a huge mess, and they can't go back to Moscow now. The wartime legislation dictates they be killed. In any case, I have to get them out of town until it all blows over. But you all should stay. Hear me, Major? My people are in no way related to
It's not my
this
call, and you know.
misunderstanding at the
I'll
jail.
fight for the guys no matter what.
Of course. Artyom, Anna, they are with
The
us.
orderlies, no one behind.
Then who? All right, Spartans. Throw these overboard and full steam ahead.
Come with me, Artyom. Let's catch some air. I'm so glad the boys supported us. It looks like my father didn't say a word to them about this either. We spent 20 years in Metro, thinking the rest of the world was burnt to a crisp in the war. But they just circled Moscow with those jammers, and we were none the wiser. How perfect of them!
Doesn't she let me touch her? So weird. Weirdest wife ever.
Getting irradiated on the surface. My father just kept lying. Lying to you, to me, to everyone. The whole fucking world. And not even batting an eye.
That's all you care about. You your daddy issues. Oh shoot! Now how in the world did that train hit the other train?
That was just a warning. If you do not comply, we will shoot to kill.
Fuck me, that's some armor. And look at all the machine guns.
Happy now? Is this what you were hoping
How
for?
is this his fault? You knew everything and never said.
Shit!
Stop the engine immediately.
Oh, fuck! Are you okay? Yeah, just a scratch.
Okay, stop it. But I must warn you, our brakes are not in great condition. Yermak, start slowing down. Let them think we are surrendering.
Ah, finally some good sense. Now, keep braking to a stop.
Well, grenades will barely scratch their paint, so...
How about from the inside?
Not enough explosives. Unless we put everything we have in their firebox. Please, let me do it, Colonel, sir.
I will be appointing the volunteers here. Our team will do it.
Why Artyom?
Because he started it all, and he better do something about it. Artyom, leap over as soon as we slow down. I will distract him in the meantime.
Is that you, Yakov?
Yes, so cut this shit, Miller. There's nowhere to go. You've never been out here. We have.
We weren't going to go far, just out of town for a bit till the excitement quiets down. And you just opened fire. Will you let us go if we stop?
I have to detain you and bring you back to face trial. You do understand the charges you're facing, right? Desertion.
Doing here?
Are you fucking kidding me? Me? A traitor?
You tell me, where are you taking that train, huh? On a simple joyride? No, I see only one answer. You've been fought and you're running back to your masters.
So the verdict has already been passed. We won't even see a trial.
Cut that shit out. What are you carrying, man? Defense plans? You want to buy yourself a seaside retirement without life, you damn cripple?
Plans? Treason? We have served you people without question for years. We have spilled our blood for the cause.
You sold out. They destroyed us and you?
I have been a soldier my whole life. I have dedicated my life to my people, my country. I'll be damned if I give it to parasites like you.
When we get to this... You don't know? Some assholes stole a legion of ours and are trying to escape Moscow. So we are after them. Huh? What was that? I give up! I give up! Just don't kill me, please!
We're getting closer. Units are set and ready.
Time's up, Colonel Miller. Easy. We are slowing down, but the brakes on this thing are busted.
Don't sweat it, Colonel. My people will help you handle it.
Yermak, get ready to hit the brakes.
Heads up! Enemy on the train!
You mother...
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! I'm going to stop her! I'm not with you! They made me! Just don't...
Hold on!
Got it.
Oh my god, Artyom! Thank goodness you're okay!
He's like, this is why I married you.
Now we are not just traitors. We are honest-to-God enemy saboteurs.
That doesn't win your father's favor.
We stopped
I don't know
100
what
clicks from
the hell
Moscow
will.
to check our Geiger counters. The thing is, they are all in the green, as if they're in a conspiracy. Still, this amazing piece of news doesn't really impress anyone that much. The guys are all confused as to what to do next. And I'm just waiting for answers. And hope...
Oh, thought I was done. Oops.
Why the long face?
We are at a crossroads, so to speak, where everybody can't help but wonder, what next? Where do we go from here?
Yes, more or less what I expected from you. But you got the picture. So, is your counter functioning? Have you checked it?
Yes, it's all green. Double checked it. Stepan's in the green too. We don't need masks here.
So, they were telling the truth.
Who was telling the truth? Why won't you answer? Who were those people trying to kill us? Why would they shoot at you, the Order's commander? Explain something, at least. You owe us that.
Well, I might as well drop the bomb now. The war did not end.
What do you mean, did not end?
Let me finish. Most of our cities
He yells
are
at everybody
destroyed.
but me. I love it.
The rest of the country is probably under enemy occupation. To avoid new nuclear attacks against us, Command chose the only viable course of action: to play dead. To ensure
okay,
radio
baby.
silence, the SHIELD system was created. A network of radio jammers covering Moscow and suburbs. So that some radio enthusiasts wouldn't bring more bombs down on our heads by whining on air. And it's one of these jammers that got disabled by the hands of those present here.
Could you not have shared that before? Say, before Artyom took that radio outside and caught all that radiation?
No! I only got briefed half year ago. Under a strict, you talk, you die policy. And then had to tell my people we were securing a weather station.
Sir, with all due respect, if we can't go back, maybe we should advance and move on?
I have an idea, but... Artyom, rather than carrying on with this silent disapproval of yours, check the airwaves. We should be out of the jamming range by now, so give it your best try. And look for transmissions from the Ark. Do you understand now why we're traitors in the eyes of Command? We shut down a jamming station, shot up the guards, destroyed a patrol plane, and ran away from Moscow. Who even needs a trial when the case is so clear? There's no way back now. Which means we have to continue moving forward.
Command, what are you talking about?
The Moscow Defense Command. Have you ever heard of the... Wait a moment, what was that?
181-79.
Listen, everyone!
8-5. I repeat.
Why is he never happy to see me?
Rally point location is code 181.
We're supposed to...
8-5. Only
Got it.
standing together. Shall
So
we overcome
it is
any and
somewhere
all
around
obstacles?
here. The Yamantau Mountain. So the route from here should go like this. This is our goal.
So, is this what you had in mind?
Yes, this is it. The Ark Project is a whole city underground. Enormous stores, machines, the best experts. It is the Commander General's HQ. All of the country's leaders are there. They have already started the restoration work. We will tell them that Moscow is alive. It wasn't all for nothing. Everything will change. Everything. Do you get it? A new life is starting for all the survivors of the war.
By the way, are there any single women in that place?
Great reaction. So I think the moment calls for... Bring it out, Demir.
Bring what out, Colonel? Sir?
That thing that's been sloshing about in your canteen. You think I'm deaf or what?
That. Just a moment. I thought my ears were deceiving me.
It's not a short trip to the Urals, so we should make ourselves comfortable, I guess. Let's name this bucket of bolts at the very least, eh?
It's about time.
Let's call her Anna and be done with it.
Nah, go to hell. Even better. Oh, come
How
on.
about Aurora, the Roman goddess of dawn, and a cruiser of, you know what?
That's better.
Not bad. I like it.
Ah, beautiful name.
Sounds okay, but the cruiser of what?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Looks like it's decided. Let's trick to
Aurora. Hey, Artyom, let's take a look at that map.
All right, we had a round. That should be enough. You're back. Full steam ahead.
Hi.
Full steam ahead.
Wow, that's some distance. I wonder how long it will take. How are you, Alyosha?
I was expecting an arrow from a kitten, but I got a bullet from an ugly motherfucker instead.
You sure you're okay? Because I know you.
Just so you know, scars attract the ladies.
And there's definitely a lot of those up ahead.
Well, I'll be... So, dear Moses, can you feel how sweet the air is without a mask? Or not just sweet, so many shades of taste it has. Weird feeling, eh, my friend? I remember you telling me how you took your mask off atop a Stonkin Otar. When you homed those missiles in on the dark ones, was the air bitter then? Who knows though? Had you not launched those missiles, you'd probably never have climbed that building or received that signal. Life is weird, huh? One random event drags another with it, like links in a chain. And you are pulling that chain out of a deep, dark well. The links emerge from the dark water. And what link is in that lock that's on the end of the chain? That's a mystery. That's what I often think about when facing a choice. You can't drop the chain either. You always have to drink from that bucket. Well, bottoms up, I suppose. So, how does it feel to be the Moses who yanked on this particular chain? Is it dumb to think about such things when all I ever did in life was carry out
His name is Idiot. Alright, I'm done talking to him. I don't talk to idiots.
Andrei Ivanovich. So, how did you like that fresh air? Out of this world, isn't it?
You're out of this
Ask
world.
your Mac about where we're headed next.
Wish you were real.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
It's all right. Don't worry.
Is she real?
Artyom, a couple of words.
Oh god. Yep, smoke break.
What's son. Yes, I tried to talk you out of it. Yes, I didn't tell you we're not the only ones to survive. But even I didn't have the clearance. Not back then. This is a state secret. Do you understand? I've been granted clearance only after a fight to protect the D6. They said they needed me to teach the recruits because the war was still on. Don't you think I was shocked? What did our people in D6 die for? What did I lose my legs for? But I understood. Because the war was still on. Security was paramount. Our people would have understood. So please, do the same. You would have spilled the beans to everyone in Metro. You're a goddamn Prometheus, a messiah. You must lead the people out of the caves. Do you think you would have saved anyone? Remember that jammer? What if Moscow has been found out because of you? What if there are missiles inbound? Anyways, no matter what they think of me, I'm no deserter and will never become one. I'm ready to bear full responsibility for everything. But if there is even the smallest chance to earn my pardon, I will take it. Which means that we, like a runner that tripped, need to keep running ever faster just to keep balance. And don't dare you trip us all over again. Am I understood? I hope I am. Anyway, at least now we know where to run. So, go back inside and take a look at the map. Our route is pretty obvious now.
And smoke in his face the entire time. Like a big ass blunt.
Was proud to be helping most. Then, about 2 months ago, they loaded a bunch of people onto my road. The guards took them outside. Came back and home.
Hello there, Artyom. It seems to me, whether it was intended or not, that our colonel now has a goal to strive for because of you. We all remember the way you fought back in D6, so no matter what lies ahead, we're with you.
Well, hello there, Artyom. Well, help yourself. Because frankly speaking, I'm a bit tired here. The only good thing about this job is that you forget it sooner. Later, your whole body aching. I heard that monotonous labor counts you. Well, it's not a lie. I do feel the scar, see? What says it's dynamic. That philosopher doesn't come here to meditate to over, though. Oh? Okay, I'll take it from here.
Dizzy already.
A few days later, I was coming back from a run. Stopped the train. Hey, Artyom. Found there any music on here? Thanks, Artyom. The road improved instantly.
In Miller, Demir, Duke, Termac, Watchman, Demons, Dog, this song in Russian?
Soon I understood I saw that ravine. Fed me the usual lies about the spies and whatnot.
Did you believe them?
Well, it sure seemed safer to believe. But then...
I didn't skip ahead.
After all those years in the underground, the air of the surface seemed incredibly fresh, intoxicating. But that was not what had caused the crew's euphoria. Our journey finally got a definite purpose provided by the transmission from the government bunker
I'll let
in
it
the
play out this
Urals.
time.
For 20 years, we thought that neither the government nor military high command had survived. Turns out they're still around. Where were they while we were eating each other alive in the metro? We'll have a lot of questions for them once we reach Yamantau, if we reach it. The ruins of our country are under enemy control, according to Miller, and we'll have to fight through to our goal. A small team against the occupation armies? What are the chances that we'll succeed? That we'll get some answers?
Froze anything off yet, darling? Here, let's warm you up a little bit. So, what do you think our chances of getting to Yamantau alive are? It's the only thing on my father's mind. How to earn his forgiveness, get back to Metro and his old life, the life you had always been running from. And to think, I never believed you. And now I'm looking at this fog, thinking it could actually be hiding our new life from us. By the way, we should be approaching the bridge soon. Damn it! A campfire! People! There are people there! Hit the bridge!
Shots fired! 4 bogies on a trolley!
All hands, report to the bridge, on the double.
Artyom, you should probably get to the bridge!
Are you alright, Artyom?
They pierced the cylinder! How bad is it? Can we move? No, we're stuck! Oh, shit!
Damn fog. Seems we ran through someone's roadblock.
Who was it? Any uniforms?
None. They were wearing rags.
Just some old farts.
Old farts, huh? That's just the perimeter guard. They could have put anyone there, even women and children.
Do you really think we found them, Colonel?
Well, we can't be sure. I was expecting to run into them much earlier. The trolley is headed towards the bridge. Some fortifications there. This looks peaceful. A village and a church on the water. We need intel. Here, Artyom. I put a mark on your map. Get there and find out what you can about that bridge. Taking a prisoner would be ideal. Anna, you cover him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I go with Artyom too. As backup.
No. Until we figure out our situation, you are not to take a step away from the Aurora. These
Let's
two
go,
can handle
Artyom.
themselves just fine. Yermak, when can you get the Aurora running again? I don't know yet.
Artyom, don't forget your backpack. It's a new model. A portable workshop, so to speak. The manual is inside. It doesn't come with crafting materials, though, so keep an eye out for those.
Let's move out, Artyom.
Just be careful out there.
Sure thing. I gotta say, that was one flimsy roadblock. And those guys, well, they didn't look like army men at all. Just old men.
Be careful out there. Remember, most of the country has been destroyed or occupied. Even those who might be enemies, by conviction or out of fear. Got it?
Do you hear that bell?
enslaved or something.
Going down.
Huh.
Haha, that was great. Hey, what was that?
Could you check it out?
This is what Fallout should look like.
I took a look around while you were inside. That electric tower there looks like a perfect sniping position. Let's go. A boat. You won't have to go swimming after all. The locals probably get around mainly by boats. Okay, Artyom, I'll climb up there while you take the boat to the church. I'll call you when I'm settled.
Break a leg.
Let's go. What's the bird doing on here? Get out of here. Can I dock? Hello? Can I get off here? What's up? Okay, I'm not close enough, I don't think. What's the point of coming here, though? There's a little flag. It's assumed.
Looks like you've been spotted. Artyom, there's a woman on that bell tower waving a rag or something. Please investigate. I see people at the church. None seem to be armed. We'd better try the open approach. Let's not fire first, okay?
Peace be upon ye, traveler. Our father brother, Silantius, has already started his sermon. Just enter the temple and see the light of truth. We are a peaceful lot, so please keep
but he absolves those who reject the folly and temptation of electricity and other sinful lures of the enemy. And to those who falter, he grants salvation.
You're all liars! You're all evils! You don't save anyone! They killed my friends and my daddy!
Satan's spawn.
She'll bring the Lord's wrath upon us.
They have to suffer their breath.
Banish her. That would teach them.
Yes, they are not worthy of the protection of the Tsar.
Exile them! Make them repent! Patience, brothers and sisters! Patience and tolerance! For ye must accept thy nails like the Lord accepts thee to truly.
Come up here!
Stay calm, brothers and sisters! The heretic is trapped, for so will the Lord! Soon our brother's militant will be here!
Come on!
Lord's justice will be done!
Oh, Mama, it's him! The man from the train! He's here to save us!
I can't believe this. I had all but lost hope. We're not from here either. Silantius locked us up here a year ago. Yes, the bridge dwellers won't even talk to heretics. But I'll tell you everything I've seen in this place all that year.
Arriving under the cover of fog.
Oh, it's the bridge guard. Silantius fooled them just like the locals. But unlike them, the bridge guard have guns. Run! There's a way out down here and there's a boat at the dock.
We also have one, but it's too small for all of us.
Our job is right. The boat. We will rescue her later. Don't worry.
Where is that heretic? He came by boat during his sermon. And then what?
Artyom, I can't cover you when you're inside. I'm changing position to meet the woman and child. I know you can handle this just fine.
Come on, you dirty spawn of Satan! Come out and don't tempt
We're here again.
these men anymore!
Have you seen the heretic, sister?
Of course I did that, heathen.
So you have seen him? Look, are you sure that was a heretic? Well, what else? They say it was Satan himself. Well, they say that as soon as Father Silantius finished his sermon, there was a flash of hellish light and the heretic just vanished.
Did they smell sulfur?
No, they didn't. But they say that the satanic machine has a vat with sulfur and a vat with oil in it. And whoever gets seduced by the heretics gets boiled in one of them. Women in oil, men in sulfur. That machine only has
Did this come from this direction?
Grab him by the tail or horns when you find him.
Lord, protect us.
Where'd he go?
Come on, you hell spawn! Repent, confess your sins, and that will
count in your favor when the judgment day comes.
There we go.
Is that the shadow? Looks like there is someone standing. Fish protect us.
Keep looking, my children, where he is about.
So it was nothing. Again. God, save us and protect us and shield us from Satan and his minions.
It's like right in front of him.
Come on, you heretic! I order you by the name of all celebrities himself! Come out and let the true faith purify your soul of sin!
Down there. Do you see it? There, on the ladder. I think there is something. That ladder! That damn character! Take this, filthy dog! Run for it! Save yourselves! What is it? Are you okay? Oh, the dog is hiding. Means he's afraid, which is good.
That's it! I give up! Don't shoot! For it is the peacemaker who shall be saved! I give up! I've no choice but to rely on your mercy, even though you are a heretic.
No mercy. It's gonna take over this church, man. I think it's time, man. I'm gonna start my own church. How about that? Oh, he gave up. Good. Good. Appreciate that. Just trying to open up the door. I'll get this open. Somebody got a key? How do I do this? Is somebody else I gotta kill or what? Why did I come in here?
I give up. I've no...
The heretic? Ha! Well, just shoot me. Come on! I wish you'd just shot me. My daughter and my son are dead.
Hey, they say you worship the devil. That true? Will you teach me?
What? No.
I'd make a good apprentice. A really good one.
You got Jesus. You got Jesus on the wall over there.
If you get lucky, I hope I do. Go.
Bro, I'm gonna leave before I end up killing you.
Please. Why are you leaving?
I'm not letting you become a Satanist or whatever the hell. Will you teach me? You really, bro? I gave up really quick. I'm just like disabling everything now. I'm like, where do I go? I go back to my boat? Maybe I go back up to the family. How do I get back up there? I feel like I need to let out those people over there. I just don't know how. Where'd they go? Well, now what? Did I already kill all the important people or something? Or there's a way to get to it underneath? I don't know. I don't get it. Is there a monkey in there or something? Can't really see it. Or a bat. Okay, can I get back to my boat at least? Since I don't know what to do. I feel like I should probably let those people out, but that's my mission right now. Escape from the church by boat. Oh, no. So I don't let these people out. Okay, well, sorry guys. I tried to save you. Guess they don't give me an option, I don't know. Just tells me to leave you. You go this way. I'll get over you. Yeah. How did I get over there? Is that a door? Random room. Is that the kitchen? I'm stuck. Oh, okay. I got stuck for a minute. How do I get back to the boat? I climbed down the church. This way somehow. Don't blow up the door or nothing. What am I missing here? I can't read that. Tell me what to do. Look like the cult does have some muscle. The guy's probably no match for our weapons and training, but I should still try sparing them. Silent getaway. And by the looks of it, I'd better get out of fast. Better way to do it would be to use the boat I saw suspended from blah blah blah. Cool. Well, how do I get back to it? How do I open up the gate? Don't make me have to look this up. I don't want to. I want to be able to figure it out on my own. So let me. Hey, wait. Oh. Found a different boat. I think that's the boat it was talking about. Boat that was suspended. That makes things easier. What's up, Danger Mouse? Let's see. Let's see which one was pointing for a second.
Are you alright? A shame you couldn't get away quietly, without bloodshed. They're bound to hate us even more now. Oh well. Artyom, Katya, and Nastya are with me now. See you aboard the Aurora. Check the map.
Yeah, this is how
Looks like
Fallout
you can go
should have
straight to it
looked.
from there.
This game looks a lot better.
Artyom! Over here!
Damn it. I already fought that thing in Resident Evil. How many times I gotta fight you, bro? No! my boat's gone.
Come on!
Water's probably freezing
What the
cold.
fuck was that? A whale? It's fucking huge!
The old man sent me out as a forward sentry. Told me that I was to sit tight and under no circumstances look for any action. So I just had a front row seat watching you there. And so you subdue the occupation forces peacefully, with a holy cross and a prayer. Anna has already reported on the cult. How about we trade places? I'd hate to come back to Moscow without even firing once. I was trying to win a girl over from one trader. Tough luck there. Why does everybody else get fun missions? The Colonel does criticize you and all, but he gives you all the best action. Is this his way of showing affection, or trying to get you killed?
I don't know.
But I have to say,
Good
it's
question.
unfair. I've been dragged out of Moscow, and for what? Stalking the furnace and sitting in a bog with a damn spyglass.
Yeah, that's great, bro. Can we go?
Here, though, we do have a chance of finding some loot. There is this plane there. Just leave something for me. I'll have to stay
Oops.
longer, I suspect.
I made her do that. Top them up, binoculars out.
The shrimps are giving me trouble, though. I wish I could somehow talk to that catfish into chomping all those water bugs. How did Mowgli talk to the animals, I wonder?
I don't know, man. Okay, I'm moving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Bye, bro. Have a good one. Hey, it's a bunny.
I should have landed on that field. We were still flying and it looked like we could have gone on for some time. And then that damn power cut. But really, what difference does that make anyway? We're not getting to Moscow from here. That's for sure.
I don't need a gun.
I'm all alone, but the others, they have relatives.
It's the same gun. Yeah, I guess it is.
It's been 10 years, but they'll still be alive. Anyways, we'll have to make ourselves at home here now.
Nice.
For the life.
Glad I went in there now. Lots of little creatures roaming around everywhere. Oh shit. I was a landmine for a second.
Here's Artyom, back from the abyss of
You're
NATO
alive!
occupation.
Thank you for the information, Katya. But there is one
Doesn't even
more
hug me,
question I
man.
want to ask.
But of course.
What do you know of the occupation forces?
I'm gonna kiss me.
Sorry, I don't quite get what you...
So, you've never seen any foreign army in this area?
No, I haven't seen any army.
Is that
But we haven't been
lasagna?
to any important places.
What is that? I don't know, man. It actually looks kind of decent, though. Not gonna lie.
Artyom, a moment.
I'll give you a moment. Not too long though. I don't want to talk to him for that long. Why does he keep doing this? Does he do this to everybody?
Great job saving them, Martin.
Oh, thank you.
Katya here has provided us with vital information.
Okay.
A mechanic called Crest is hiding in the port. His help is required if we're to fix the Aurora in the foreseeable future. Yermak can't handle the repairs alone. So once you're ready, go to the port and invite Crest to join us. And then get back ASAP. We'll have to decide what to do about the fanatics on that bridge. Now we know for sure that the bridge is in working order. They crossed it last year when they got here. Well, at least some things are clearer now. But still, so many questions. There might not even be any enemy forces around here at all. They probably garrison the key regions only. In any case, we'll learn everything once we reach Yamantau. From the top source. The Moscow government is essentially a local council, to put things in perspective. So, now we just need to figure out how to cross this goddamn bridge.
Are you done talking? Here we go. I'm gonna go back.
Yes, Uncle Artyom.
We really should move out to port.
And your wife is great. She's kind and really strong. Thank you, Auntie Anna.
Uh-huh.
There you go, Artyom. As I always said, you
When are we gonna have a
with
kid?
me.
When are we gonna have a kid? When are you gonna kiss me at least one time?
With a real medic, we'd become unstoppable.
Anyways, can I leave?
Katya,
We good?
Nastya, come have some tea.
We good to
Don't
go?
be shy.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess I can leave now. Alright, I should probably upgrade my gun or something. Can I do that? Get out of the way.
How do you like the backpack? Is it comfortable? Can you operate stealthily with it? I have a present for you here. Anti-har rifle. Ring any
cool.
bells? It's pneumatic, but it still packs a wallop. Plus, making bullets for it is easy as pie, even in the field.
Oh,
Just
yeah, I remember this
remember to
gun.
keep that pressure up. Otherwise, you might as well be spitting him out yourself. Other than that, it will never fail you. I did my best. So, that is with honor.
Who can have
Like an
known
air
that
compressor
fanatics were in
weapon.
control now?
See, do I go back this way or what? Yeah, I guess I go this way. Cool, cool. Gotta do this again. I guess I could go as far as I can. So like some monster kicks me out, I guess. Look at that bunny. There's two bunnies on a raft. That's funny. Probably about to get eaten. We gotta have some entertainment along the way. What's up, bunny? Little bunny family. Surprised you guys have like survived this long. Oh, they got eaten. What did I tell you? I told you. I told you. I could just like see the future sometimes. I never even seen that in this game before. Here they come. Probably to jump on me here soon. Oh shit, here comes that thing. Oh shit. No, 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 no. Fucking A. Here we go. What is hitting me? shit, here we go. Something's hitting me. Go around whatever the fuck I'm stuck on. Go, 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 go. It's raining too. It's gotta be raining at the same time. I don't know where I'm gonna land this thing. Actually, I feel like that coast right over there is a good place to stop it. So just like, go ahead and get out. Get out, bro. Yay, I made it. Now what? Yay! Oh. What the hell was that? Some girl like oh shit. What the hell? Figure out how to make weapons again. How to make ammo. You need like a certain something. There's a fucking spider on me or something. What the hell? That was weird looking. Didn't do anything, but still creeped me out. I go the wrong way. I need to go over there. I don't know, I go far enough. second. How do I make that ammo? There it is. I think, yeah. That's how you do it. Okay, good. And you can make med kits. Now we know how to survive. Alright. Now we're doing good. Land these headshots. Hard to land. Really? I went through all my ammo?
Come up here!
Alright.
But you're pretty amazing, bratuха. That was crazy. Blin. Those mutants are pretty hardcore. The villagers never have a chance against them.
Probably gonna get off after this.
You just cut through them, blin. Well, it's pleasure to meet you. Name's Crest, by the way. Are you from the train? Bet the locals wouldn't even talk to you guys. Opened fire right away, didn't they? Of course, those dumb bastards. I've been here long enough to know the drill. They have a cult over there. The dumbasses are hung up on technology having destroyed the old world. So they don't exactly take kindly to smart guys here. And me, well, they were just gonna lock me up until I agreed to go fight those electrical demons of theirs to absolve my sins. Because I was in cahoots with Satan, apparently, блядь. Some Satanist I am. I've been fixing engines and trading all my life. Now I'm moving to the east. Blin, I'm sick of this part of country. There's just nothing to do here anymore. The cities are gone. Bandits, beasts all around. Lots of space across the Volga, though. Plenty of opportunity. So, I came here with my rail car full of trading goods, hoping to make a few sales on the way east. What a fool I was. I was lucky to get out alive. Anyway, since you've arrived, I've been thinking of this little plan I had. Never had a chance to pull off alone, but since you guys are also going east... Now, judging by what I could see with my binoculars...
Anyways, have a good night. Have a good weekend.
Still running.
Happy Easter.
By the way, take the binoculars. I'll show you where everything is.
Be safe.
Look at the bridge first. See that section on top? It should lower if the emergency mechanism still works. Katya from the church should know better. I've never been to the bridge myself. There, to the right, that huge hangar. That's a terminal, Billy. The cultists consider it a holy place. Holy place, covered it all in graffiti, schmaffiti, there... Tsarfish lived there, you know? Stupid bastards. Even further right, see the building near all those carriages? Used to be a train depot. There are some bandits there now, but the place itself ain't bad. Oh, the area nearby isn't too bad either. There's a good hunting and stuff. I set up several safe camps around there. If you find them, you could rest, fix your equipment. Unless you prefer spending nights at an open campfire. Now, come on, let me show you my home now. Here is my cave. And this is where I live. Not a palace, but... Oh, here's a bed. So, if you're tired, my home is your home. I made a workbench to tinker on. If you need ammo or grenades, there's some raw materials here. So, help yourself. You can have anything you like here. Can't carry all the shit anyway. Come on, don't be shy.